Oh, we're live and we're on the air. Isn't that exciting? I know you guys are all excited. So this is up because the Rhino can't do BDU tonight. So as usual, when I feel up to it, or at the very least can accommodate, I run a live chat in lieu of BDU, just to make sure all you little Wednesday night drink and talk addicts get your fix. So I am drinking 9 Locks IPA India Pale Ale here in Nova Scotia. I think they're in Nova Scotia. 9 Locks, yes, in Dartmouth, I believe. And we're basically just going to sit here and see if anyone actually wants to jump in. Of course, you put it out in the little chat in Facebook to the group of regulars that if you want to join, I'm going to put a link in the chat here later at 8 p.m. EST, and you can join in if you like, and then no one says anything, and then they join up at the last minute. So no one might join. You never know. Nick said he might later, but that's about all. The only confirmation I got. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting for all you guys. So I'll show this. Went and bought myself a whiskey today. And if you follow the channel, you know that although I do not review beers anymore, I will still be reviewing the odd whiskey or two. So I have the famous Gross Smoky Black, which from what I can gather is a new variation on their a new expression in their lineup. Apparently it's just supposed to be smokier than the Black Gross, from what I can understand. So that should be interesting to try out. I opened it up and smelled it, though. It wasn't very promising out of the actual bottle. Now, it seems to have settled a little since I've opened it, but when I first took a whiff of it this morning after I got home from the liquor store, it smelled like fortified wine. I wasn't getting any smoke out of it at all. So now it's smelling like whiskey. Yeah, okay, so it might be all right. Might have been just like an initial thing where it needed a little bit of breathing room in the bottle, but yeah. So until people actually show up on the panel, if they do, you guys are welcome to leave comments and questions, beer related, whiskey related, movie related, whatever. This isn't necessarily a beer chat. It's just to, again, provide the fix for the friends in our little group. We usually have our Wednesday night chat on Chad's channel. So it's nice. It's not too hot today. We had some really humid, shitty days last week, and now we're into 2 days straight now of decent weather, where even if it gets up into the high 20s in the actual temperature, there's been a nice breeze and it's not humid, so you can actually turn a fan on and it actually does its fucking job. It blows cool air at you instead of just fucking hot swamp-ass air. So I am looking at the YouTube page here. So I'll keep refreshing every once in a while. If people are going to add comments or not. Probably not. My guess is that maybe we'll get 1 or 2 of our regular watchers who are nice, decent human beings. And then we'll get the usual glut of cowardly downvoters who think downvoting videos actually matters. All it makes you look like is a chronic masturbator. Just saying. Because downvoting videos doesn't do anything to a channel as small as mine. Blah, 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 blah. Like literally, you would have to subscribe to downvote bots, and you'd have to get like thousands of downvotes on my insignificant little videos. Same goes for the Rhinos channel too. When people downvote the BDUs, I know there's a little group, a little clandestine group of haters who seem to think that downvoting does something to upset us, other than, you know, what it really does is just make us laugh at how pathetic you are. So I look forward to seeing some downvotes on my video here tonight. See those same people. It'll be a lot of fun. I think one of the last week on BDU, when it was back on Rhino's channel, I think one of the suspected downvoters was actually trying to get into the chat, but he was too stupid to fucking figure it out. So he doesn't strike me as being very bright anyway, so not a big surprise. Any messages on Facebook here? No. And we'll refresh the Google, the YouTube page. So at least one other person watching right now. Now let's see what else can I talk about. I'm waiting for people to shuffle in here. Watch the movie. Oh look, Radar, how you doing, sir?
Hello. How's it going?
Not doing too bad.
Me neither. Me neither. I guess it's just you and me.
So far, yep.
Is Chad coming or?
I don't think Chad is. I was talking to him this morning, and I think he's working or something like that. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So
what are you drinking?
I am drinking 9 Locks IPA from here in Nova Scotia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
9 Locks.
Yeah.
Any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Not too bad.
Guy's not going to be here. He's working, unfortunately. Oh, I seem to have jammed. Are you there?
Yep, still here. Yeah, you just cut it for a sec. Well, you're saying Guy's not working, or he is working?
Guy is working.
All right.
I'm drinking my last of my side launch wheat.
Right on.
And what's his face? Nick says he'll be in, but a bit late.
Yeah. I wonder where Average Joe is. I know he saw the link in the Facebook chat. I saw your name pop up there, Joe. You little bitch. Come on in.
Come on, Joe.
So antisocial these days. It's terrible.
Well, Nick's on Facebook. I don't know why he's not here.
He must have something to do. You might be shooting a review or something like that. Who knows? Oh, we got 2 downvotes. Oh, great. Awesome.
That was Joe.
Oh, well. And we got one up.
We got one up. All right.
Yeah, we got one up, too. I invited downvotes because I know we have this little group of people who don't like the BDU, and so they like to do their little downvote campaign every time as if it's going to make some sort of difference. Like, you've literally got to get like thousands and thousands of downvotes on a video for it to have any sort of negative impact on it at all. So it's just a bunch of guys pulling their pecker basically on their keyboards.
Oh. All right.
Let's see if there's any comments. No comments. Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of boring for for a while anyway, until some people shuffle in here.
Yeah. Mila Kunis, actress, speaks about her past relationship with Macaulay Culkin on Howard Stern show.
Wow, she was with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, they were married.
Oh, they were?
I think so, when they were really young.
Oh, okay. Well, Culkin got the better half of that deal.
Probably. Right now, he's like just this drugged out guy. That's it.
He looks worse.
No,
than
they
Kurt.
weren't married, but I knew they were together for a bit.
Ah, okay. Because she's smoking hot.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you saw that that little short film that Macaulay Culkin did, where his character from the Home Alone.
Yeah, he's in a taxi or that Uber.
Yeah.
Uber cab. Yeah, I saw that. He looks fucking wrecked.
Oh yeah,
Right
that
now.
guy.
Like, he did a lot of drugs.
Yeah, it's noticeably fucked him up. Like, man, him and Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong's another one who just,
Yeah.
my God. I think Edward Furlong actually cleaned up, and now he's just like put on all kinds of weight. Yeah, he just put on all kinds of weight and looks like he doesn't sleep much. He's got like big bags under his eyes and everything. It's not fun to watch.
No. Edward Furlong. What was the last movie he was in? I remember the Edward Norton movie there, American History X. He was pretty good in that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But he's been working steady, but it's all been like direct-to-video stuff.
It was The Crow 3.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
No, that was The Crow 4.
Oh, yeah. I can barely watch past part 2. So
Number 1 was really good. Number 2 was okay. Number 3, I'm like, what? No. The number 4 was like, no. It's just no.
Yeah. Every movie they just ended up breaking the rules established in the first film, and it's just like, yeah, I don't care anymore.
Greg Beyond in 5. That's what he said on Facebook.
All right, awesome. Yeah, the only thing I actually really liked from The Crow 2 was Iggy Pop.
Yeah, Iggy Pop, the villain,
is Trash or whatever, or I think it was Trash. His name was.
Yeah.
No, Skid. I think it was Skid was what it was.
Can't remember.
But I mean, Iggy Pop. he's looked like a skinny, drugged out freak for most of his life, so he just fit that role as like a junkie murderer.
That's what he looked like, a junkie murderer.
Yeah.
No, his name was Curve.
Curve. Okay, I knew it was
Curve.
something along those lines.
Checking it right now, and Thomas Jane was in there. I can't remember that.
Was he?
Yeah. Thomas Jane is Nemo.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the guy who's in the peeping booth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The guy gets killed in the peeping booth. Him.
Right.
He had long hair. I didn't know that was him.
Damn. Yeah, because Thomas Jane's one of those guys that doesn't really blip on your radar until really Punisher, really. That was the first like big role I can remember him in where he got some attention.
What the Thuy Trang as Cowley. Thuy Trang is the Yellow Ranger.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Best known for her role as Trini Kwan, the original Yellow Ranger in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. She died in a car accident in 2001.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sucky.
That sucks.
I remember Serena Vincent from Not Another Teen Movie and Cabin Fever. She was a Power Ranger too. I think she was also a yellow Power Ranger, that or pink Power Ranger or something like that.
Serena Vincent. Yeah, I remember those tits.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that movie. And not Another Teen Movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
What other movie was she in? The Cabin Fever?
Yeah, she was in the first Cabin Fever movie. Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing nowadays.
She's still working in movies, but she's
Yeah.
doing mostly direct-to-video and independent stuff too. So. Let's see here. Go to check for comments.
Oh yeah, she was in an episode of 2.5 Men. I remember that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, still no comments. All right. Telling you guys watching, you got questions, comments, you want to start a discussion about something, just throw it in the old comments and we'll react to it. We got no set topics tonight or anything like that. It's just whoever comes in wants to shoot the shit. Whoever wants to shoot the shit in the comments and say stuff, say stuff. If you want to sit here and yell at us and insult us, we'll throw it back in your fucking faces. Whatever you want to do, just, actually interact. Don't just sit there and watch us with your peckers in your hands or your twats being diddled by your fingers and actually say something. If we are your porn tonight, let us be your interactive porn. Don't make it a one-way deal.
Yeah, Radar is here. There's porn. Oh wait,
exactly.
No, that's Greg. Were you here a couple of weeks ago when he showed us the 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles?
10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Just when you came in.
Oh yeah, I was here. Yeah, the adult version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. How you doing, Greg?
I'm all right. Yourself?
Good, sir.
We were just talking about Macaulay Culkin and how he dated Mila Kunis for 8 years.
I know. He was in that. It's a little depressing.
Yeah.
All right. Since you asked, I have a refined fool.
Ooh.
And then Bernice flipped the Canasta table double IPA. Seems like an unnecessary long name.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Bernice flipped the.
I don't know. Maybe there's a story behind it. Who knows? All I know
Must have been a hardcore game of Canasta. Is all I can think of.
Flips over a table of Canasta.
I don't know. It's like getting bent out of shape playing bingo. And it's like, fuck.
Well, hopefully it's good because I love their other double IPA.
Right on. So I'm just gonna put this out there, Average Joe. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I know you're seeing all these messages in the chat every week. I know you're voyeuristic.
We know Joe's hiding.
Yeah, I don't know why he's hiding either. I don't know. He doesn't like us anymore for some reason. So he'll hang out with Matt. He'll hang out with massive beer reviews, but he won't hang out with us. I don't know what's going.
Maybe Joe's part of like a wine drinking group now.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's in like a weird beer tasting circle now, or wine drinking circle, or maybe he's just drinking Four Loko exclusively now, and he's embarrassed to show up.
No reason to be embarrassed at Four Loko. We accept your drunkenness in whatever state you wish to have it.
Mm-hmm. Like I say, I miss Joe. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Those are words I never thought I'd say, but there it is.
We weep for Joe.
Yeah.
Every day we take a picture of him and cry over his beard.
Well, I always weep for Joe, in the sense that I always feel bad for him, just because he's him. But, you know. That's right, Joe. I'm going to keep talking shit about you until you show up and get all indignant and yell at me.
I'm looking at pictures of Mia Culkin. Mia Culkin.
Mia Culkin, that's not good, dude.
Mia Culkin.
Mia Culkin. No!
Alright. You're done.
Mia Culkin, that's not a mashup picture I want to see. No, thank you.
You know what? It's a lot of fun to rewatch those Home Alone movies from the point of view that now, as adults, we know that that kid is a sociopathic masochist.
Yeah.
And it really is what you're watching is a snuff film. It's a film about child abuse and snuff.
No, that kid grows up to be every bit the sociopath that Ferris Bueller is, except for he actually goes around and actually actively hurting people. Like, you know, he's actually vicious about it. Whereas Ferris Bueller is just a sociopathic manipulator who just makes people hurt themselves more than anything else.
That part is true. Take your dad's Ferrari. Nothing bad will come of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we have a whole list of Canadian beer topics all organized and stuff?
No, we don't.
We can talk about that guy switching the bottle of vodka at the LCBO.
I'd never heard of that one.
What?
The guy got in trouble because he returned a bottle of vodka with water in it.
Oh, yeah.
Now you guys know.
Yeah. And if there's any, by the way, if there's any of our sort of like regular people who tend to join in here, or at least have in the past, who are looking for the join link and are not currently in the Facebook chat where the link is posted, just let me know in the comments, and, well, I'll decide whether you're worthy or not, of course, but if you are, I will message you on Facebook and give you the link. Or if any of our haters out there want to join in, I'll put the link out there. I'll put it out there if you want to come in.
As long as you don't name names.
Oh, we can name names on here. No problem.
Oh no, I think Lee crashed.
I don't have I don't have a reputation like the Rhino does. So.
Dear Internet, Rowan Atkinson is definitely not dead. Did you hear about that one? Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. But the Mr. Bean thing is...
There was this thing online there a couple of days ago saying he was dead.
Yeah, there's lots of celebrities that's sort of fallen under that hoax as of late. There was one for Shannon Elizabeth a couple of days ago from the American Pie movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. It's always a shame when a good set of titties dies.
Yeah. Although she only showed him like twice in the movies and decided, no, I'm going to be an actress, and a little above your pay scale there, darling. I'm sorry to say, you know. I'm all for you taking your career in whatever direction you want to take it in, but let's face it, you weren't that much of an actress.
You're probably going to get it again.
Take in whatever direction you want, but do it without a top on.
Mm.
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't even remember last thing I saw her in was American Reunion, and that was really just like a cameo. So it's like, hey, you gotta have every character from the old movies in there. So.
Yeah, and pretend that all the direct-to-video movies never happened.
Hey, the direct-to-video movies had a lot more nudity than the actual ones, so they weren't so bad.
The fucking Naked Mile was like wall-to-wall nudity, pretty much, through the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing is, I think there's 4 direct-to-video American Pie movies, and the 2 middle ones, I think Naked Mile and whatever the fuck the one after that was.
I don't even know there was any. Yeah.
There was Bandcamp, Naked Mile, Beta House, I believe it was.
Beta
And
House, yeah.
yeah, and then
Book of Love.
Book of Love, yeah. I didn't see that
We know
one.
all this.
Was there a
the
fair bit of
last-
nudity at least?
Oh, there was
yeah.
nudity all through those ones. Like those were just like straight ahead like direct to video titty comedies with this like
Yeah, they
80s style.
Even had a little bit of snatch in them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two middle ones, Naked Mile and Beta House, those actually that were pretty decent.
Yeah, they're not too
I think
bad.
a little bit better than the direct to video titty comedy you'd think they would be. But yeah, the original one better. American Reunion is actually a good movie. Although, well, I don't know if it's a necessarily a good movie or it's just a movie that tugs on my nostalgic heartstrings.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, so I don't know.
I'd say it's worth watching if you like the original, at least the original, like first, the OG one.
I actually need to rewatch the original and see if it holds up for me, because I've only like watched it a couple times back in the day. So, and after that,
she still looks pretty good at Shannon Elizabeth. I'm looking at a picture of her nowadays.
Yeah, she's only like 40 or something like that. She's
43.
43. Yeah, she looks good.
43, throw her away.
She's a vegan. Shit.
Oh well.
Vegan. Yeah, Elizabeth. She is an environmentalist and a vegan.
That's 2 strikes against her.
Fuck.
I would assume by default, if you're a vegan, you'd have to be an environmentalist because you're choosing not to like. I guess unless you really want to like just kill the rainforest to eat all the delicious vegetables in it.
Well, so many of them are hypocrites in several different ways. So.
Oh yeah, she was in the original Scary Movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. And she was in the terrible 13 Ghosts remake.
Yes.
And she was in that Wes Craven werewolf movie, Cursed, for like 3 seconds.
Wasn't she in Jack Frost?
Yeah, that was like one of her earlier roles where she went under like her real name and she got raped by a snowman.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was just weird. Yeah.
What? I didn't see that.
She gets raped by a killer snowman, like Jack Frost. This is a different one. It's not the Michael Keaton Jack Frost. It's it's this criminal. This criminal gets doused with chemicals and mixes with the snow and becomes like a mutant snowman who can like, you know, make himself any shape and size and stuff because he can use the water and the snow and shit. So what he does is she's running a tub, and unfortunately you don't really see any nudity, but she's running a bath, and she goes up into the bath and starts to take her bath, and then what she doesn't know is that the snowman is actually the water in the bath, and he forms as a snowman with her basically merged with him, and he basically rapes her to death.
Nothing worse than getting raped to death.
And you know he's raping her because when he forms, he doesn't have his carrot nose. So where did the carrot go? Oh, we know where the carrot went.
Oh my god.
No way.
Not exactly cinema's greatest moment, but you know.
But at least now we've solved the dilemma of why do snowmen not have penises? Because their carrots double as them.
Yeah, they don't need penises. Huh? Age-old questions solved here tonight on Hougly Live, everybody.
This is what happens when no one joins and no one wants to give us topics. We talk about snowman dicks.
Try to be a nice guy here. Trying to run an alternate to BDU because it's not happening tonight, and this is what happens when you fuckers don't want to interact with us.
Yeah, no wonder Shannon Elizabeth is much. Her dad's name is Arabic.
Yeah.
Shannon
Her
Elizabeth.
last name's like Fidal or something. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So what other movies have we not discussed lately?
Batman vs Superman.
I watched it.
I actually liked it. Lots of reviewers they hated it, but I.
Now here's the thing: did you watch the original or the new extended one?
Not the new extended yet. I only watched the one in the movies.
I watched the
I've
original.
seen
I
the
don't.
original. Go
I
ahead,
don't
go
think.
ahead.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can stomach the extended cut. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the original. I will watch the extended cut though, just to see what it's all about. Because apparently it is supposed to be better. But
Guy has it. I was supposed to watch at his place, but we ended up watching Game of Thrones instead.
Yeah.
probably a good choice.
He's
But
gonna put some reviews in the next couple of weeks where we are hammered.
Nice. I look forward to that.
Oh fuck! What was it? Beer called 11 Z's, I think, something like that. From Nick.
But
the problem I had with Batman versus Superman is that it's just more of a kind of, hey, this is our way of trying to fast track into the Marvel universe and like already set up Justice League and Aquaman and all the other different movies they want to make into the universe, as opposed to actually making kind of a solid, coherent story. And I mean, it was the parts where Batman and Superman were fighting were actually pretty cool, and I do think Ben Affleck is an awesome Batman, but
I think so too.
But unfortunately, he didn't really have a great script to work with.
Yep.
See what the movie felt like was where the Marvel, and I'll put this in sexual terms, given the company here, that this will be appreciated. I think when you look at the Marvel universe, it was all foreplay at the start. All the movies were building up to something. You know, they eventually build up to the Avengers movie, which was the big finish, the big climax. You know, but here it's like
ejaculation.
Yeah, but here it's like. The first Superman movie was just like a premature ejaculation. This movie was 3 minutes of sex with no fucking foreplay. It was like they tried to stuff like 5 movies into this one movie.
Into the one, yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't work for me. I fucking hated this bullshit where Superman goes, "Save Martha!" and Batman's like, "How do you know that name?"
Yeah.
Oh, our mother's names were Martha. Oh, now we've bonded like bros. Beforehand, Batman's like, if you even doubt this guy by 1% or whatever in your mind, we have to take him out because he's a threat to the Earth and all this other shit. That's a storyline that should have been built up through several films, and this should have been the big climax film. For like the first phase of the DC universe, I guess. But instead, they tried to make this the second movie in the DC universe, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fight. I thought the fight looked really good. The Doomsday shit at the end looked really fucking wonky. Wonder Woman felt very tacked on. I think Ben Affleck makes a fucking great Batman, and I actually look forward to the Ben Affleck Batman movies, standalone movies. Those should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it might be. That's the thing with Wonder Woman is everyone was saying she was so great in that movie. Yeah, she was cool in that movie, but she had nothing to work with. She was literally like a side salad. Like it was just like, oh, let's just throw her in because we can, and now we'll make a movie of her. Because I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
let's throw everything we can in that movie.
Yeah.
What about fucking Aquaman? Just
a one little scene there.
Looking at a submarine. Oh wow, that got me really hyped for Aquaman. Can't wait for that fucking movie.
And again, with the exception of like what Iron Man, no one really gives a shit about the Avengers. But when you put them all together, it's cool because you got all these superheroes on at the same time. Like no one really cares that much about Thor. I guess maybe Captain America a little bit, but like. You know, like a lot of them, like the Arrow guy and the chick, they don't even get their own movies because no one gives a shit about them.
Yeah, but, they don't need their own movies. I mean, they are side players. Like the Hulk does not need a standalone movie. He works great in the Avengers movies.
But he's gonna be in the next.
Pardon, there's a gang of Hell's Angels that just drove by.
Black Widow might work standalone. Just if it's 2 hours of seeing Scarlett Johansson running around in latex, then yeah, that's fine with me.
Might work.
That might work. That's a winning formula, I think. But yeah, Hulk standalone movie not too good. The Thor movies are passable at best. They're not offensive or anything like that. And I think he works better again as part of the Avengers, you know, because you can sort of bounce jokes off Thor and you can bounce jokes off the Hulk, and it makes for good banter in the team and everything like that. Hawkeye never should get a fucking standalone movie.
No.
I wouldn't mind him as a bit player in like a Black Widow movie or something like that, because that kind of makes sense. That works. But yeah, it's mostly Iron Man and Captain America's show in those films. So, I mean, actually, the whole storyline is more or less Captain America and Iron Man's political differences getting in the way of everything. So.
All right. So what are we hating on now?
Oh, nothing. We were just saying how the Avengers movies are essentially just Captain America and Iron Man butting heads. Like that's the whole storyline, and that's probably the best storyline. Everything else is just side players, you know. So.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, I'm not even a huge fan of the Marvel Universe. Just in general, I don't find it that interesting. And I've seen almost every single movie in it, except I haven't seen the new Civil War. But I think I've seen everyone but that. And,
Civil War's not bad.
Yeah, and you know what? They're all fine. Like, even the Avengers, I thought it was a good movie. I wasn't blown away by it. But I legitimately, I love the Batman character. Like, I've seen pretty much every Batman movie in the theaters, with even the crappy George Clooney ones and Val Kilmer ones.
Yeah, I've seen all of them too. I think the worst one was the one with George Clooney.
Yeah, I think
second worst, obviously, was the one with Val Kilmer. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying Arnold Schwarzenegger with his Ice to See You wasn't the best villain ever?
Ice to See You.
It was so cheesy.
Not putting me on the
cheesy.
Oh, you're not putting me on the Batman. Yeah. No, honestly, the worst Batman movie for me is Dark Knight Rises. Or
what?
The last Nolan one, because it just wasted all the potential that it built in the first two movies.
I kind of agree with you, and not as much that I think it's necessarily the worst one. Ooh, Nick's here. Hi, Nick. Not necessarily that it's. I don't think it's the worst one. I think the Schumacher films are worse.
Yeah.
I agree with you that Dark Knight Rises, considering how good the first two movies were, and how it fucks everything up, it's almost like, you know, it has lofty expectations, right? Like,
well, it's been two movies like, we're not going to make this great. Nolan's like, we're not going to make this grand spectacle Batman that's cartoonish, and we're going to keep him grounded and more realistic and stuff. And then in the third movie, it's like, oh, let's throw that all out of the fucking window and actually throw in some cartoonish bullshit and some over-the-top villains and stuff, and fucking make it a fucking comic book movie. And it's like, no, that's like totally antithetical to what you were doing in the first two films. And then the wraparound thing is just bullshit. I feel the same way about that as I feel about the last Daniel Craig Bond movie, Spectre, where they tried to wrap everything up from the previous movies. It just felt tacked on.
I haven't even bothered to watch that. I haven't even bothered to watch that yet. But
it's okay.
It's not terrible, but Christoph Waltz is so fucking wasted and terrible, and that like Blofeld more like fucking blow ass. Like
he could have been much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rises had an awful lot of problems with it.
I don't buy Batman quitting for 8 years. I'm sorry, because he lost his girlfriend. He lost his girlfriend, so he's going to quit for 8 years. Oh, poor Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne lost his fucking parents, and that's what drives him to be fucking Batman. And all of a sudden he loses his girlfriend. Oh, you lost your girlfriend, Master Wayne, and now you're going to quit crime fighting? Oh, little baby. Like, come on, fucking seriously.
That's the thing, is that should have made him more dark, more brooding. Like, he should have come back. Like, it should have been like a Dark Knight Returns type thing, where it was like, he's come back. Like, I'm not even saying he left for a while. I'm just saying he should have just, once that happened, he should have had like a new hate on. Like, he should have done things Batman doesn't do. Like, hey, this guy is a murderer or rapist. I'm just going to snap his neck because I'm fucking pissed off now.
Well, when you think about it, the Ben Affleck Batman, the older, disgruntled Batman, is actually the true end result of Rachel Dawes dying. Like that would be what he would be doing. He would be going too far. Like,
and the thing is, the the Ben Affleck Batman in Batman vs Superman, he would have gotten into that fight with Bane and just wiped the fucking floor with him.
Yeah.
There would not have been any fucking backbreaking. That's like an early Batman thing. At this point, he's grizzled. He would have Bane would be a joke for him.
And let's face it, the Bane in Dark Knight Rises was fucking weak sauce.
Yeah, because it was like, well, we're making him strong, but he's also a genius. It's like, no, that's not how Bane works. That's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, Bane is fairly cunning and smart, but his big advantage is the fact that he could pump himself up to like 500 pounds of muscle. And puts on the luchador mask. Like again, that really pissed me off. Was his weakness was he had this funky mask that kept him like going. Kept him out of constant pain or whatever. Like fucking bullshit. Fuck that shit, man.
Yeah, and then I mean he gets killed like almost as an afterthought. It's like, oh, Catwoman shot him. Done.
Yeah, shoot him.
All right, on with the movie. I was like sure. I'm like, okay, he's gonna come back at some point. Nope, he's done.
Yep.
I don't know, and then they had to try and just stick Joseph Gordon-Levitt in there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, my real name is Robin.
Dun dun dun.
I hate to say it though. I mean, I think the real reason that movie sucked so bad was that Heath Ledger died. Because I think the original plan was to have Joker in the third movie.
Yes.
And I think because Heath Ledger died. What's his name? Christopher Nolan didn't want anything to do. Like, he wanted to, ignore him completely, which I thought was idiotic, because he's like, oh, I want to respect his death by not even including him, not even mentioning him in the movie. And it's like, you know what? I'm not necessarily saying, I probably, if it were me, I would have recast him, but even if you didn't, you had to kind of mention somehow the importance he had in the movie, because The Dark Knight was about Joker. It wasn't a Batman movie. It was a Joker movie. Batman was just part of it.
And I mean, really, the third movie should have been dealing with the repercussions of how much the Joker actually shook the foundations of Batman's whole fucking honor code and everything. He monumentally fucked with not only Batman's life, he fucked with everyone else's life in Gotham City in that movie. And then there's 8 years later, it never happened really. Let's forget about it. It's almost like the middle movie never happened. And they just tie up the story from the first movie to a certain extent, where the revenge of Ra's al Ghul because his daughter is running the League of Shadows now and shit like.
I actually saw this cool it was a fan comic. It was 2 pages long or something, where basically Bane in the third movie sends a bunch of his goons into Arkham Asylum to get Joker because they want Joker to actually help them.
Mm-hmm. And
basically his guys don't come back. And he just goes in to see Joker sitting in his cell with all his guys dead around him. And the guy's like, well, and Bane's like, I thought we could work together, but I guess that's just not going to happen. Just leaves him locked up in there. And I thought that was kind of a cool little, you could almost kind of do that, without even casting somebody. You could just kind of make Joker sitting in the shadows or something. And I thought that was a neat little possibility. But really, I mean, if the third movie had actually had Joker in it, I think it would have been better. But
I think someone could have done the performance too fairly well. I mean, you could come up with anything the Joker had facial reconstruction and or something like that. I mean, honestly, even when you think about it, Jesse Eisenberg in in Batman vs Superman, he's basically playing Joker more than he's playing Lex Luthor to a certain extent.
Yeah, he almost did. That's part of the reason I felt he was good if he was in another movie. It didn't quite work in that movie, I thought. But I don't know. I mean, Jared Leto looks... So far, I think he kind of looks cool in the Suicide Squad movie. We'll see how it pans out. But
I get the feeling he's not the original Joker though in that film. I get the feeling he's another Joker.
He's a secondary one.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking they might do that. They might just sort of pull the rug out from under your feet with that, because I don't know. I don't buy Joker as a guy who gets tattoos and piercings and shit like that. I don't quite buy it.
No, I'd rather see the suit.
Yeah.
The purple suit.
And I mean, Lex Luthor could have been way better cast for. Honestly, the only good thing about that Brandon Rolfe Superman from back in the 2000s, Kevin Spacey was an awesome Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah, he was good. Well, you know what? I know they probably would never do this for continuity, but my personal favorite Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum from the Smallville series. Like, I thought once that show ended, once he left that show with like the last season, I think he left 2 seasons before it ended. That show just kind of fell apart because the whole thing about that show was the whole Lex Clark relationship. Clark was like the perfect guy, Lex was like kind of the evil guy, and yet somehow they were friends, but they were frenemies. And I thought that show worked so well. Like, I mean, that show had a shit ton of problems with it, but when you had those two on screen and you had like the major plot twists, that show worked so well, and then it just fell apart. And I'm like, put him in the movie. Like, who cares? Like, who cares if he's been in another series? I mean, Ben Affleck was Daredevil. Nobody seems to worry about that. So
yeah, everyone's forgotten about that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, like, come on, like, let's get a proper Lex Luthor. I mean, like, again, I think if this was like a 60s Superman series, I think Jesse Eisenberg would have done a great job. I just don't think he did a great job in the movie he was supposed to be in.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of guys I would have put in for Lex Luthor in that movie.
How about Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. I'll show you who the real Superman is.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh, Nick is there.
That's why the sirens have started.
So, what do you think? You're number 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3? You sure number 3?
Yes, 100% sure.
Drinking Mill Street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Macro beer.
100th Meridian.
The Great Plains begin.
I'll be back
On
in
the
2
100th
minutes.
Meridian. What's that guy's name? Mark Strong, I think is his name. That's the guy I'd probably put as Lex Luthor in that film.
Mark
He's
Starr?
that book. Maybe it's Mark Starr. Let's see. I'm gonna look up this guy. Oh, it's Mark Strong. I mean, if you look at him on IMDb, you'll immediately recognize him. He plays bad guys and everything. But I mean, Lex Luthor should be an older guy. He shouldn't be fucking Jesse Eisenberg. Fuck that shit. You know, I'll see. I'll look for some movies people will know him from. He's been in tons of shit. He was the bad guy in the first Kick-Ass movie, like the gangster.
I want to see frickin' Willem Dafoe as fucking.
As Joker, he could play an older.
Not the Joker. Lex Luthor.
Oh really?
Yeah, I want to see him as Lex Luthor.
That'd be interesting. Shave his head.
I mean, the guy's creepy and doing anything he can. Any role that's given to him, he does it pretty well.
Okay, I just saw that. I think this is just like a computer edited thing, but Willem Dafoe bald.
You just Googled that?
Well, yeah, I just Googled that, yeah. Yeah. Although he would definitely be playing like an elderly Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
he looks
of course.
fucking 80 in that picture. He must be in his 70s. He must be in his 70s now anyway, isn't he?
He's probably close to 60.
Okay, I'm gonna look up his age now. God damn it.
He was born in 55, so he's 61.
Ah, yeah. He's 60, 61, yeah. Yeah, shit. Okay, it works. Put some makeup on that guy and... Oh, excuse me. I think he could... although I do think he could, like, if they ever actually did, like a true cinematic version of The Dark Knight Returns or whatever, I think he'd be a perfect fucking old Joker.
Yeah.
I think he'd do really well at it. I mean, since David Bowie is dead, you might as well cast him instead, because David Bowie would have been really good as well.
Yeah. Defoe has been cast as Nudist Volko in the Zack Snyder's Justice League for 2017. He's going to be in Justice League. Who the fuck is Nudist Volko?
I have no idea.
Recurring members of the Aquaman supporting cast.
Oh, well, that sounds really fucking exciting. Everyone knows Aquaman. You know, it's weird, like, when you think of, like, these sort of, like, lame-ass unknown guys from the DC universe, and they say, we're going to make a movie about them, no one gets excited because they're just like, that's going to suck instantly. And now when you think of, like, Marvel saying, we're going to take this obscure character from the Marvel Comics universe, they're like, everyone's excited, like, yeah, that might be really good, because Guardians of the Galaxy was actually pretty fucking awesome. And no one fucking knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Well, it's going to be kind of weird to see Count Drogo as Aquaman.
I liked him as Conan. The movie wasn't that great, but he was an awesome Conan.
I didn't see the movie.
It's not bad. I mean, it's still not Conan, and honestly, if you put it up against the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, it's just not as good. Even though the Arnold Schwarzenegger one is really not true to the character at all for the most part, but there was a lot of potential there. Like Jason Momoa did a great job as Conan. He was more true to the actual Conan of the stories. It's just that the movie itself kind of blew. And when I first watched it, I liked it a lot more than I should have. I gave it way too much leeway, but upon revisit, I'm like, yeah, this really kind of sucks. It's just really great Momoa performance, and then otherwise it's just kind of standard sword and sorcery kind of thing. Any comments? I think the only one watching now. I think we scared everyone away with the movie talk. All of our haters showed up. Yeah. All of our haters showed up to downvote us, and then a couple people showed up to, oh, maybe they're going to be talking beer. No one's talking beer, so we're going to leave now.
Amber Heard is in that movie. Justice League.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As Mera, the queen of the undersea nation of Atlantis and Aquaman's love interest.
I think Amber Heard's a crazy bitch. I gotta say, I kind of, from what I hear and what I gather, I kind of side with Johnny Depp on the whole divorce thing. Kind of sounds like she was basically taking advantage of him for his money. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be right back, gentlemen. Just talk and say stuff. No dead fucking air.
Damn it. The things I do for you people. You made me drink a 100 Meridian. I at least would have wanted a Sam Adams Summer Ale or an Anchor Steam.
What was that beer you sent Gidi? 11Z's?
11Z's Espresso Stout?
11Z's? Yeah, we reviewed that the other day. He's gonna put it on YouTube in the next week or so.
Oh,
we were drunk as fuck.
I think the percentage on that one isn't that high.
I know, but we were already
You were already cut.
we were
Okay.
already
Okay.
fucking gone. And yeah, I don't know if he's gonna put it on. I'm not sure.
Well, I just have to send him another can, I guess. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, you think you get drunk after that one? Maybe it's just released a triple, like a Belgian triple.
Oh yeah.
It's actually really damn good. I picked up a few cans of that. Ugh. 100th Meridian's not that bad. One more downvote. Oh, he likes Mill Street. What?
Who likes Mill Street?
I was just like, I just had like 100th Meridian from Mill Street's not that bad. I'm like, downvote. He's drinking Mill Street. That's not craft. I'm out of here.
How many downvotes and upvotes are we up to now? Do you know?
I don't know. I have to take a look at Lee's channel. Since he doesn't post stuff anymore, he doesn't unsubscribe. Actually, no, I'm still subscribed, but. Oh look, Greg's back.
Big Dick Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Big booty bitches.
I'm doing well. I'm having a double IPA from Refined Fool.
Ooh, nice.
Not as good as the original double IPA. Still quite good.
I had the refined. Was it last week? I had the Refined Fool Black IPA that Chad sent me. It wasn't bad.
The Murder of Crows, yeah.
Murder of Crows.
It's a decent black IPA. It's not my favorite, but it's certainly far from the worst. Yeah, I just popped by their place in Sarnia. They actually had that Murder of Crows, but I didn't buy any. I already spent $80 on beer.
No BDU makes downvoters unhappy. Hey, look, it's 2-3. Yeah, it's 3-3.
I gave them their little
did you just
jerk off
downvote us?
tonight.
What? No, I did. Yeah, I'm gonna downvote. No, I voted.
I would just like to know who these downvoters are, because I mean, it's not like Hougly Live or BDU have a massive audience, right? Like, let's be fair. There's probably maybe 5-10 people watching it. So obviously people are watching it because they want to hate on it and they want to downvote.
There's 2 watching now, according to the video feed.
I'm guessing I know. And hey, let's just name names. Here's the outside guess. This is the one. Maybe Dr. Dave, the beer professor. Maybe he's still secretly got a man crush on me and he's just downvoting my shit. More likely, Jordan's probably downvoting my videos.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Orr probably is. And that guy Chad said traded off beer that he got from him in a trade. 2 other people. I can't remember the fucking guy's name. The guy with the fucking Amish beard. The one who left the comment in the last one of these that I did. Said, oh, you guys think I'm fucking blah, blah, blah. Put my name out there and yeah, I gotta defend myself as if anyone really gives a fuck about you, but whatever. A bunch of drama queens. Apparently Stephen Orr wanted to join in on the last BDU and couldn't because he was too fucking inept.
Too inept to figure out how to join a BDU chat. Got the link somehow.
Mm-hmm. It helps, Steve, if you don't jam your face into the fucking keyboard when you're trying to type things.
If you want to see what you're typing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing I'm going to throw out there, though, is that I know certain people are not allowed on BDU for various reasons. As far as I can tell, I don't think those various reasons are having anything to do with the 4 of us. So if you're banned from BDU, come on over.
Mm-hmm.
We'll chat with you. I like everyone. I'm friendly with everyone. I'm not a hater.
I hate everybody.
Lee's the opposite of me.
Yeah.
If you were an American, you'd vote Libertarian. He doesn't care.
No, I wouldn't.
This is funny. This is funny. Agnes
Agnes
is actually on the balcony talking on her cell phone to her friend who's across the street on the sidewalk.
Nice.
Oh my God! Come on, go down the sidewalk and talk to him. It's ridiculous.
It's funny.
I just hope she's not playing Pokemon Go on that fucking balcony. That could lead to bad things.
No, but there are so many people at my work that are playing Pokemon Go. It's quite hilarious. And I get one girl who's like, and she's an Asian girl. Asians aren't that good at driving. Let's be honest here, okay? And she's like, oh,
Racist.
She's like,
Racist.
I like to play Pokemon Go while I drive around the neighborhood and look for Pokemon. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't do that while driving. She's like, oh, okay, but I only do it in the small streets. I'm like, you mean the ones where kids play ball on the street and stuff, and they like to run out into traffic when their ball runs onto the streets?
Yeah, Pokemon Go becomes Pokemon Splat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon gone.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast where these guys were talking about what they do at work, and apparently when they had their meeting the day after Pokemon Go like really hit big, the first thing on the agenda in their meeting was their boss saying they don't mind them playing Pokemon Go as long as they do it on their own fucking time in the office. Like, it was that big that it actually had to come up in the meeting. You know, it was that much of a problem, I guess.
Well, the thing is, like, the place I work is in a bit of a trendy part of Toronto where there's, like, a lot of, like, high-end restaurants and clothing stores and stuff. So a lot of these places, they do this thing where they, apparently through the game, you can buy, like, lures that make Pokemon come around your store and stuff. So they'll pay Nintendo, you know, $10 to, you know, to have the lure that lasts for a few hours. And all these Pokemon people just come to their store to, you know, catch Pokemon and hopefully buy shit at the same time.
So how do you feel about this, Nick? Since you're a big geocaching guy, don't you feel like they're just kind of capitalizing on what you've been doing for years?
Yeah, this shit's already been done, man. And there's more adventure to be had if you're geocaching.
But it hasn't been done with Pokemon.
Fuck Pokemon.
And then everyone's sort of like, oh, everyone's saying, oh, you shouldn't shit on this new Pokemon Go because at least it's getting people outside and walking. Isn't that what geocaching
gets you out in the woods?
Yeah,
geocaching
it's hiking.
Well, yeah, geocaching is generally the caches are spread out further apart, and you actually have to go into the woods to find some of these things. Whereas Pokemon, you can walk around the city. It does get the nerds outside, though.
Yeah, well, the thing about Pokemon Go, though, is it's intrusive. Apparently, there's been stories of people, you know, and this is kind of scary shit when you think about it. Like, if you're a parent, your kids are playing in their yard. Apparently, there's a story of this woman that they don't know came running into this person's yard while her kids were playing in the yard, and she basically told the kids, like, to not move so she could catch her Pokemon or whatever on the phone. Like, people are, like, crossing property boundaries to get into people's places to catch Pokemon. Churches apparently are gyms or whatever for training your Pokemon, I guess. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as much as I don't mind people abusing churches and, like, running into churches and kicking down the doors and shit, that's fine. Some guy had a church that was refurbished and he used it as his house. It was an old church, but apparently Google Maps didn't know that, so they set it up as a Pokemon gym. And then there's like tons of people outside this guy's house, like trying to train their fucking Pokemon.
Nice.
And then there was this story of someone looking for a Pokemon and found a dead body under a bridge, apparently.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You know,
to kick people out of police stations and Holocaust museums and stuff.
On LiveLeak, I saw a guy. The news story of two guys fell at the same time off a cliff onto a beach in San Diego.
You know, now, granted, some of these stories are probably made up. You know,
not as one was true.
Just to cash in on this whole new thing, because everyone likes to make fake fucking stories whenever something big comes up. But I could, like, you know, it's not necessarily totally a bad thing. As much as I hate cell phones and people with cell phones, and I hate cell phone culture as a whole, this is kind of a cool virtual reality thing that you could, like, move on to other games. Like, there must be, like, future applications where essentially what you're looking through in your phone will turn the real world into a fantasy world, where you could probably, at some point, you might be playing Skyrim on your phone, virtual reality style, where I could foresee a hookup where you take your fucking smartphone and it hooks into a pair of glasses or whatever, and you're walking around the real world, but what you're seeing projected is Skyrim, or something like that.
It's gonna be a little weird when a whole bunch of people are in a park playing Skyrim. All of a sudden, a dragon comes down. They all flip their shit and start ducking, and everyone who's not playing Skyrim is like, "What the fuck? What's going on?"
It could be really bad, but also think of the possibilities for like LARPers. Like there's a pretty. I think LARPers would be pretty excited for this shit. Like there's a real way to capitalize on this for the sort of live action role playing. I think there might be something really cool there for those people, but there has to be boundaries set too, because the idea that you can walk into somebody's lawn to catch a Pokemon, like, that's ridiculous. Like, I could see lawsuits coming to Google and Nintendo very soon.
Well, that's the thing is, as usual, the laws are behind the thing, so it'll be probably years before they come out with laws. But in the meantime, there's going to be lawsuits and all sorts of other bullshit.
Yeah.
But
because
all I can say is that. Go on.
I was just going to say I'm not in favor of games going over personal space and privacy. Like, very intrusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was watching a video of, well, it's a guy I like to watch on YouTube, and he was just, like, playing around with Pokemon Go, and he's like, well, there's a bunch of Pokemon over in that schoolyard there. However, I think if I walk over to that schoolyard with my smartphone out, this is going to turn into, like, an arrest video, and this is going to become evidence. So I'm just not going to go over there.
Hey, kids, I want to show you my Pokemon.
Doesn't matter.
Rhino's in the comments section here. He said Nick's a nerd, apparently.
You're a nerd.
How many people have died
Big
thus
white
far
nerd.
from geocaching versus Pokemon Go? As well, how many people were robbed at knife or gunpoint for their GPSs versus their iPhones and Androids?
Well, one guy played his Pokemon Go and ended up in Compton and got shot 4 times.
Ooh. I imagine more people have gotten killed playing geocaching, but I doubt the resale value of a stolen GPS is not as high as a smartphone.
I get the feeling that if any people have died from geocaching over the years, I think Pokemon Go is probably going to
Trump that.
They're gonna trump that very soon. I think just with the popularity, because apparently there's like tens of millions of people doing it already. So compared to not to belittle geocaching, but you know, that's more of a niche kind of hobby compared to this. So and Rhino wants to know what drama did I miss? You didn't miss any, because none of the fucking haters and stuff want to.
This showed up, downvoted the video.
That's not true. We were saying how much we fucking hate albinos and how we wish only people with pigment were allowed to live.
And then
we always say that. That's a given. That's a given though. But no, here's the thing, Chad, and you know this. All the sort of pussies who go over to BDU and downvote your videos as if that fucking matters, as if that's some sort of statement from them, other than the fact they're a bunch of fucking cowardly jerk-offs. None of them have left any comments. None of them have taken us up on the invite of joining in to air their grievances. All they have done is downvoted the video and either left or sort of watched with scowls on their faces. So, you know, same sort of cowardly bullshit. The sort of Dr. Daves out there, the Stephen Orrs out there, the big pussies out there who get all bent out of shape.
The Ewerts out there. Yeah,
those Ewerts. Those fucking Ewerts out there, those old men.
And, at our work, we have 2 receptionists, and one of them plays Pokemon Go. And she actually caught a Pokemon off the other receptionist. Boom. I thought that was kind of nice. And the truck across the street liked it as well.
Brido says apparently Pokemon Go is responsible for 44 deaths thus far. So there you go. If that's a true number, that's monumentally fucking sad.
But in all fairness, okay, like, these are the early days of Pokemon Go. The people right now dying are people that would have died anyway. Like, these are people that would have died sticking a staple into an electrical socket or something, or walked across the street on their cell phone. Like,
most of them are Darwin Award winners, essentially.
Yeah, like I don't think any of these people are like, would have probably cracked the atom or discovered the cure for cancer. I think
No,
the world is not going to be too.
when you think about it, it's a
Too
really great
upset.
thing. I think just about everybody except for me should play Pokemon Go. That way we can start thinning out the herd even more, because apparently, like AIDS, cancer, the flu, they're just not killing enough people. We need to get something really going that's going to like really seriously grind up a lot of people.
You make
really
it sound like the realistic possible version of the purge. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face facts. Population is the major problem that is causing all the other problems in this world. If we could knock the world's population down by half, we'd be a lot better off.
Can we please name this episode Hougly Live: The Final Solution?
Well, I will rename. I promise I will rename it The Final Solution. I will.
Fuck off.
Oh,
Damn it. That's awful.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not being as cruel as Hitler, though. I'm leaving everyone to their own devices. They're basically killing themselves. I'm not putting them in the fucking grinding factories, I'm not putting them in the death camps. So
It's not like Hitler started that way, It's gory.
I was
No.
gonna say, turns out Hitler would have won World War II if he had just carpet bombed all the Allied troops with copies of Pokemon Go.
exactly.
No, there's 3 spots where he fucked up. Especially attacking Russia. That was it. That was like the dumbest idea ever.
Big. Not invading Britain.
Well, everybody's made that mistake. Hey, let's attack Russia. Why? What the fuck is in Russia that you need?
Yeah, just as long as they don't attack you, you're not.
Hey,
too
by
worried.
Hitler
World War II.
wanted to invade Russia because it was land for his Reich.
Yeah, and that's
Like
stupid.
the oil fields in Sebastopol.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
thought the Russians were a mongrel race as well as the.
Yeah.
Here's the
They
thing,
wanted to
though.
turn them into slaves.
Here's the thing, though. If you own all of Europe, which is what he pretty much did, you could have maintained a treaty with Russia, and Russia could not have won a war against you by invading you. You could have maintained a treaty with them and bought their fucking oil, because you would have been the only people that Russia could have sold it to in the first place.
He was probably the most dangerous, like a military commander since like Genghis Khan or something, or Attila the Hun.
Yeah,
But what he made the same mistake that Napoleon did, opening up a war on multiple fronts.
and here's the thing: Russia was not a threat. Russia was barely mechanized. Russia was still a nation of poverty-stricken farmers for the most part. I mean,
Yeah, but when you send your elite Nazi troops into Russia, and then winter hits, and Russians are used to fighting in winter, and Nazis are not, you get fucked.
and plus, the Russians had so many goddamn people that you could just send a wall of people after you. I mean, a lot of the stuff you see in Enemy of the Gates was actually like true to life. Like, they'd send waves of soldiers after people. Most of them didn't have guns. The wave behind them would not have guns, and it'd be like, the guy in front of you, he dies. You pick up his gun, and then you keep fucking running and shooting.
It's like the South. Oh, that's cool. It's like the South Park movie. You got Operation Human Shield.
Yeah, Operation Blackie and Darkie in front, or Blackie in front, or whatever the fuck it was.
What was it? Like before he invaded, like I think Russia wasn't really a super advanced power.
No.
But as soon as they did, he set in motion. It basically got the biggest of all time organization for industrial process.
Yeah.
And they were able to just blow them away. Like by the time they turned the tide, it was basically all over.
If they had left Russia to their own devices, the underlings of Stalin would have eventually murdered him and kicked him out of the way, and they probably would have even made even sweeter deals with Hitler, because Stalin was a fucking madman.
I mean, despite what you say about Stalin and the Russians of the day, the Soviets, but I'm glad they won. At the same time, it's Hitler made a huge mistake invading Russia.
Yeah,
I'm not cheering him on.
Well, he also made a huge mistake when he basically had the opportunity to kill all the British troops, and then he wanted to wait for the Luftwaffe to to kill them all, and then it was cloudy weather, and they evacuated them all to Britain while that was happening.
That was
The Miracle of the Rhine, I
Operation
think
Dynamo, Dunkirk.
Mhm.
Miracle of Dunkirk, yeah.
And there's a movie coming out for that.
Oh, where they got
Christopher
people
Nolan?
out of. Oh,
Yeah,
what was that?
they
Dieppe
got
or something?
Dieppe was in 42 when the Canadians tried to attack the coast.
They tried to make a mini D-Day, and then they learned a lot from that, but it was a massacre.
Yeah, they learned that they got fucked.
They also learned they could keep throwing Canadians at fucking Germans and let them get mowed down, too. We did a lot of that in both wars.
Just throw a bunch of Canadians at the problem; they'll take care of it.
Well, there's a whole bunch of battles that Canadians won that the British were like, "Fuck this."
Yep.
Caen was one.
Australians can say the same thing, right?
The Battle of Ortona was mostly Canadians.
Yeah, well, Britain was a declining empire at that point. Let's throw all the colonials at them instead of our own people.
It was the last war fought with basically all of in the aftermath of the war. Britain was so broke they couldn't control their empire anymore.
Nope.
India was a huge, nail in the coffin. They basically lost most of the territories after that. When did Australia become independent?
In the 1800s sometime.
Late 1800s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But they were like Canada, part of Commonwealth, like as soon as Britain goes into war, we had to follow them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhino says Megadeth paired with Unibrew to make a 4.5 ABV Belgian Saison. Megadeth La Tout des Mondes. Why are you not on here with your fucking beer news, Chad? What are you doing? Are you actually working or are you actually at home? If you're at home, the joint links in the chat. Fucking join in, you piece of shit. God damn it.
He's probably spending time with his
Tell him
kids
we're not
like
reading
the
any
loser
more of
he
his
is.
comments unless he joins. We're not reading any more of his comments unless he joins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're also going to burn down his house.
And you know where he lives, too.
Yeah,
1901, there you go.
I do know where he lives.
You might want to not burn down his house anytime soon because it might really smell like shit a lot given the stories he was giving earlier on today about his plugged up toilet. You might want to put that off for a while.
It's one way to fix your toilet is to burn it down.
But this Megadeth paired with Unibrew to make a 4.5 ABV Belgian Saison, that actually sounds interesting. That sounds like an actually good band beer.
Yeah.
Even though Dave Mustaine's a crazy motherfucker who...
You'd think, though, that a band like Megadeth would make a beer that has more balls than a Saison.
You think so, but yeah.
But it's Dave Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine's crazy, so you never know.
Yeah, 1901 is when the six governments of Australia joined together to make Australia and its own country. 1901.
Sounds sexy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just goes to show that the the British Empire was declining before the World War II, but this was
Yeah.
This was nail.
Yeah, nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
It's what broke everything, and I mean, it was coming anyway. I mean, their culture had become so repressive and antiquated at that point. It was not transitioning to modern times very well, so it kind of needed to be broken.
By the Great Depression, they were having a huge amount of problems trying to get things motivated. They were massive unemployment.
Yeah,
they couldn't even keep their maritime power in place.
I mean, they needed to become a modern. They needed to become more of a modern kind of style country more than anything else, and they went through their really bad depressive part in the 70s with lots of unemployment and ghettos and bad housing and shit like that. Then you had the Thatcher years, which didn't help at all, and now they're semi-better. They're definitely a lot better than they used to be. They have a small professional army that is one of the most well-trained, most professional armies in the world. They don't have a big fucking massive imperial army anymore, but they don't need it anymore. So
What's this, UK?
yeah.
I thought Meryl Streep did a great job running that country.
It's amazing that they had to try to pick an actress to play fucking Margaret Thatcher, who's one of the most ugliest women ever, both physically and just personality-wise, an ugly woman as well.
Well, and the funny thing is when she died, I think one of the major networks like CNN or something posted a picture of Meryl Streep as her, and like she was like, no, that's not actually her.
Yeah. Yeah, Margaret Thatcher was a fucking cunt.
Are you saying her name should have been Margaret Snatcher?
Is that a? I'm pretty sure there's probably an actress that's named like that.
See, here's the funny thing. Does everyone remember Spitting Image from the 1980s? That puppet show, that puppet series, where they No, you don't know Spitting Image.
I don't actually know.
Spitting Image.
Look up Spitting.
I thought you said spinach.
No, look up Spitting.
Look
up Spitting Image. It was a puppet comedy series from like the 1980s where they had these really.
Is that the British one where they did Land of Confusion for Genesis in?
Yes.
Like the rubber puppets?
Yes,
yes, I know what you're talking about now.
The Margaret Thatcher there looks exactly like the real life Margaret Thatcher. It's like it's not even a caricature.
If you do a Google search, it's one of the first things that comes up, her and Reagan.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't remember that, but Jesus Christ, I'm going to have nightmares now.
Yeah, they're horrific. They are horrific.
What's it called? Spitting
Image.
Spitting Image?
Yep. Spitting Image.
That's fucking horrifying.
Well, I'm Googling images right now. All I see is people biking.
Google images of naked people biking. That's even more interesting.
Actually,
that's what you get, bro.
I kind of want to Google that now, Greg.
Do it. I'm not stopping, nor am I judging you.
Are you writing Spitting Image or Spitting Image? Radar?
Spitting.
Oh, it's spitting.
Yeah, spitting. And you should see instantly puppets.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was big in the 80s. It was like this big sort of comedy satire series about political figures.
Here it is.
Actually, oh god, I forgot the Mick Jagger with his fucking massive lips. Jesus Christ.
There,
scary.
They actually made a music video for a Genesis song.
Yeah.
It is Land of
Oh,
Confusion.
yes.
Yeah,
Nick, whatever you sent, I don't want to see it.
That is the stuff.
It doesn't have naked bikers in it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say naked female bikers.
Okay, Rhino says he'll.
I have to specify.
Rhino says he'll join in about 25 minutes. He's still working on his broken toilet. He said Dave loved La Fin du Monde. And he says the French don't understand English.
I have a question. By working on his broken toilet, does that mean he's taking a shit in it?
I don't think he... No, he was saying earlier this morning when he had that little hangout he was doing, where he was just sort of more of like a heart-to-heart thing that he does sometimes. He was talking about, early on, he was talking about how his toilet woes and how he was basically planning on shitting in a bucket for the next little while until he gets his toilet fixed, so... that might be what's happening. Oh, nice naked bike ride there.
What?
That's the right kind of fit woman.
Let's have a look at this perverted thing Nick sent us.
No, this is good. This is the right type of fit woman. This is, like a woman who's in shape who doesn't have a clitoris that's a small penis. That's very, very good. Very, very good. Very good. I applaud you, sir. That's awesome.
I like the guy looking at her behind her.
Well, yeah. Who would not be? And that guy is...
Oh, yeah.
That guy's not quite as in shape.
Did one of you assholes post that in group chat? Because I don't have group chat on iPad.
Oh well, someone just posted in the Facebook. Too.
Yeah, post it on Facebook. I can see it. Otherwise, because for some fucking reason, Google still hasn't added a group chat to this thing after how many years does this happen now? Thank you, Nick.
That's probably gonna get me kicked out for spam. I don't really want to post these in there.
That's not the same.
Hey, look, somebody fixed their toilet.
No, I didn't.
That's the second one I posted.
There it is, right there.
Ew, gross.
They are making a sequel to.
What the hell?
That's all cat shit. That's cat shit.
What the fuck? Yuck.
They're
I want to see the cash.
Have you been able to take a shit today?
Oh God, no! Just take that off. Come on now.
Just pretend it's chocolate syrup.
I know I said anything goes on this fucking chat, but no. No.
That's what I'm working on. I can't do anything. I broke my plunger because it was one of those shitty fucking accordion plastic plungers. So that broke. My sewer snake, because it's a European fucking slow flow toilet, my sewer snake can't get up the fucking angle. I can't use the 5-gallon just dump method. You know how sometimes you can just force it with a big flush? Can't do that either. The flange is partially open because the water's leaking out. I can hear it hitting the plastic pipe down here.
Oh.
And since my wife isn't home, I can't get a new wax ring, so I can't just take it off and fucking unpack it from the bottom.
Ew.
It's truly disturbing.
Isn't it, though?
Truly disturbing.
So what you're saying is you've had better days.
I've had much better days, yes. I'm right now downstairs trying to find a brewing bucket in case I have to poop.
It's great.
I'm still not seeing any great reason that you should have skipped out on BDU though.
Can't you walk over to the gas station or something?
No, the gas station that won't let you shit in their place.
Well, if you buy some, they will.
No, they won't.
By the way, in the BDU Facebook chat, I posted the actual image that Nick should have posted instead of that other one that he posted. This is the one we're
Nick,
talking about.
come on. What are you doing, bud?
Fuck Nick was doing.
But yeah, the only reason I'm not in is I was at work. I had to work tonight.
This literally turned into a shit show.
Well, it was inevitable.
Yeah.
I did not know they were making a sequel to Blade.
I'm sorry, Raider. Say again. What sequel are they making?
Blade Runner.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be really depressing.
Is that actually gonna have Harrison Ford in it?
Apparently Harrison Ford's going to be in it. Apparently
Yes.
Harrison Ford is doing his death tour, where he's going to make a sequel to every major movie he ever did before he dies. So,
Including Indiana Jones Part 5.
yes. I'm almost expecting another Fugitive movie.
I'm about to get a lot of.
It's being filmed by Denis Villeneuve, the guy who did Sicario. Sicario was not bad of a movie.
You're a bad move.
I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I actually didn't hate the fourth Indiana Jones movie. I thought it was okay.
You're an asshole.
The what?
I know.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Fuck you.
I thought it was okay.
Really? Those CGI fire ants? Really? Come on, dude.
Again, I said it was okay. I didn't say it was amazing.
It was
okay.
not. It was not even okay. Shia a fucking bitch.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Come on, dude. Come on. That was not good. There's no way you can even say that was okay. Objectively, your statement is untrue.
Objectively, it's false.
It is false. Yes.
But I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm an asshole.
God damn it, Greg.
Miller
I don't
Coors
know.
acquires majority stake in Georgia Craft Brewery, Terrapin Beer. I've never had anything from Terrapin.
Yeah, and me neither. I don't even see what the point of a Blade Runner sequel is. The first movie sums up everything it has to fucking say about Blade Runner. I mean,
Yeah, well, they need to make more money after all.
Ridley Scott does not need to make more money. He has heaps and heaps of money, and he keeps making bad films, and he still has heaps and heaps of money.
Oh, motherfucker!
That motherfucker made Prometheus, and they made a shitload of money, and that was a piece of crap.
What's up, Prometheus?
That
Prometheus.
was a piece of crap.
It was garbage. It was total garbage.
The only reason I want to still want to see it is because of the alien tie-in.
Yeah.
That's the thing is there's almost no alien tie-in. Like it's like you get this thing that kind of looks like an alien, but it actually looks a lot more like a dick.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Well, no. Well, the aliens are modeled after penises. H.R. Geiger modeled the alien designs after penises.
Well,
Yeah, but they're
Stuff
like
is-
ribbed for your pleasure penises.
Stuff I saw in the preview was kind of like the alien ship that they found at the beginning of the first Alien.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
well, they're the
It's like a
the
prequel.
fucking the Prometheus. Even though they try to distance themselves from Alien quite a bit, it still basically involves the fucking what a star pilot or what the fuck they're called.
Yeah, and here's the thing that pisses me off about that is that there's a lot of expanded universe for aliens, like in comics and shit like that, and they've established that those guys, the aliens looked like they had kind of almost an elephant trunk, like that was part of how their face looked, so it wasn't a mask. Whereas in the stupid movie, they're like, oh well, they're just tall bald dudes, and all that other shit is just like masks they have on. It's like, fuck off. There's been 20 years of expanded universe comics on the.
Yeah, well, Star Wars did the same thing. I mean,
I know.
J.J. Abrams' Star Wars is like, by the way, all those canonical novels that Lucasfilm actually recognized, they're all gone now.
Yeah. Although now they're bringing back the Thrawn trilogy, and they'll probably start bringing back other shits, because, why not? They can make more money off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Like, I don't consider myself like a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm a pretty big fan, but I was like, why get rid of all that shit? Like, just work around it.
Yeah. As far as Prometheus goes, I hate the movie on sort of principle terms alone.
Cat, this is all your fault.
Great. Alien. The best thing about Alien is it had that sort of Lovecraftian horror element to it, where you didn't know what was going on. Not everything was explained to you. Prometheus is all about trying to explain shit to you, and even then it did a really bad job. And Prometheus 2 is supposed to apparently even do more of that, like explain the whole mythology and shit. I don't want to fucking know.
You really need to explain it, yeah.
I don't want to know about the fucking aliens that had their ship crashed on that planet that let loose the fucking xenomorphs. I don't need to fucking know about them. I need. What's more interesting is kind of being in the dark about it, because that makes it more of an effective fucking horror movie.
More mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You explain everything, then why the fuck do you want to watch the fucking movie anymore? It's fucking ridiculous.
It's one of those things. Alien's not a movie that really needed a sequel. Sorry, a prequel.
Didn't even need a sequel. Although Alien 2 was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Aliens.
I still think in its own way, Aliens is the best of the Alien movies, but it's a very different movie from the first. To be fair,
it is. It's a war movie. It's like it's almost totally disconnected from the original film.
Yeah.
The only connection, honestly, is fucking Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
And then they shit on all the fucking goodwill they built in Aliens by killing Newt. But apparently they're doing another fucking Aliens movie as well, where they're gonna bring Newt back. So.
Well, apparently they're
like
going
a
to
reboot.
ignore everything that happened in Alien 3 and Alien 4, and it's going to be a continuation of the second movie, which probably means it'll probably end up sucking anyway. But I at least got some hope for like that game. What was it? Alien Colonial Marines, which is apparently a horrible game. But the story of it was kind of interesting, where they kind of retconned a lot of stuff from Alien 3, where they're like, oh well, Hicks didn't actually die. He was another guy that went into his pod and he got revived, and then he's the one who actually died. So it's like they kind of retcon some of the stupid Alien 3 shit, but
Apparently, the new Alien movie that they're putting in the works, Hicks isn't dead in that one either. Apparently, so.
yeah. Well, you know what? They shouldn't be, because you shouldn't spend a whole movie fucking like keeping these characters alive and then kill them for no freaking reason. I mean, there's not even a point to it. Like, I understand if you have like a big thing the next movie where, oh well, he sacrifices himself for the greater good or something, but like it's like, well, he's dead. We're not worried about him. We didn't want to pay the actor to come back.
Yeah,
exactly. It's kind of the whole story where they spend the entire movie of the second aliens trying to save what's it, Newt?
Yeah, Newt.
So and then to knock her off so cheaply at the beginning of fucking Aliens 3, it was just a fucking piss off.
You see, there's a real story in Aliens too, because Sigourney Weaver, she's revived in her pod, and she finds she's been asleep for so many years that her daughter has actually grown up and died in the subsequent time between being revived. So when she discovers Newt on the mission back to that planet, she
kind of takes her in like her daughter.
She takes on the mother role, and Newt becomes the daughter that she never got to know. And then that's like sort of the emotional core of the fucking movie, which ostensibly is kind of a action war movie, really, when you come down to it. And there's actually some really good stuff in that, and then that's just thrown out the fucking window by the next film. It's like, we don't care about that. We need more aliens killing people in dark corridors.
Well, and the thing is, in the early 90s, Dark Horse Comics brought out a bunch of Aliens comic, and this was actually before Alien 3 came out, so these were kind of considered canon until Alien 3 came out. And basically the gist of the original ones is that Hicks and Newt, they wake up, and they're like in a company installation or whatever, and they don't know what happened to Ripley. She's just gone. And basically, Newt's all fucked up. Hicks is, he's all messed up because his face is half burnt off and stuff. And he kind of becomes sort of she kind of goes into a mental dude, and he kind of goes a little nuts too. But then eventually, he kind of has to break her out and save her, and they go on to fight more aliens and stuff. I'm not describing it all that great, but it's actually a really cool story. Like, and then eventually Ripley comes back, and then you have this whole thing where Newt has all these abandonment issues and stuff, and it's kind of it's really interesting, and then they actually like go after like an alien homeworld and stuff. And it's a lot more interesting than
good idea.
It's a lot more interesting than Alien 3 ever was, but I mean, also it's one of those things that's also a lot harder to do because of the budget. Although granted, nowadays with CG they can do a lot of this shit because
the original draft of Alien 3 had some really weird shit in it though. Like apparently that prison planet they go to, in the original draft, that planet was supposed to be totally made out of wood, apparently, and it was supposed to be full of monks instead of prisoners.
Oh, okay.
Well, let that one sink in for a little while there. So they had some fucking serious hacks fucking working on that fucking film before it actually got made.
Charles Dance was in there.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy that played Tywin Lannister was
Tywin
the doctor.
Lannister, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you Game of Thrones nerds.
Yep. Best show on TV.
Lee, I think even an angry man like you would enjoy Game of Thrones.
I just finished season 4 with Geese yesterday, or 2 days ago.
I'll watch it after it finishes, and if it ever pops up on Netflix, then I'll watch it. But otherwise,
that's actually not a bad idea, because I mean, I think that show would be incredibly satisfying to watch from beginning to end in like a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to years. But okay, here's the thing, Radar, is that you're gonna have season 5 now. You may not.
Chad's touching himself.
You may not love season 5, because season 5 sets up a lot of shit, and holy shit, season 6 is just like you'll have your dick out the whole time, having no jack off to it, because it just some of the shit that happens is so fucking crazy.
King of the North.
King of the fucking North, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
But yeah, it was good.
season 6 was fucking awesome. Like, you know, I wasn't sure at first, and then all of a sudden it just really got going after a while, like last half of the season.
And the last two episodes, like the ninth
The
episode,
last
is
two
probably
episodes.
the best episode of TV of anything I've ever seen. But
Well, yeah, I mean, what's that site that rates TV shows? It got like perfect 10s.
I don't know, Rotten
Was
Tomatoes.
it Rotten Tomatoes?
Or,
Was it?
I might have been. I'm not
Or
sure.
Metacritic? Was it Metacritic? Yeah, one of them. They got perfect 10s, both episodes. Highest rated 2 episodes of the series.
Currently, the only things I know about Game of Thrones is that Sean Bean dies, which he does in just about everything.
Really?
That redhead chick Rose Leslie is really hot, and apparently Peter Dinklage is a midget. That's about all I know.
Yeah, you'd probably like Melisandre. You'd really fucking like Melisandre.
Well,
That's Therese Van Houten.
He liked Melisandre until season 6, episode 1, where she reveals who she really is, and you may not like her as much.
You don't have to think. Yeah. Well, you see that for only a couple seconds, and then that's done, and then you go back to her being hot, like smoking.
Yeah. But here's another thing. 2 of the major characters in it who are related to. We'll say they're involved with the royal family in the movie, in the TV show somehow, are a brother and sister, and they enjoy having sex with each other, and they have 3 kids together.
Oh, Lannisters.
Sure, that goes really well.
Yeah, it does work out, doesn't it?
Do we have like an? Is this like an albino Steve Orr over here on the corner I'm seeing? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Steve Orr bleached his fucking hair? Like, did he dump? In order to like beat back the gangrene in his limbs, he dumped himself into like a really chlorine-filled pool of water.
I actually worry that I think he actually has the camera in the toilet right now.
I think maybe he's actually like taking a dump into a bucket right now.
Yeti Stephen Orr. It's very scary.
He'd actually take.
Guys, can you see me? Chad, we can't see you. Can you get a little closer?
You should see more of your forehead if you're gonna be more like Steve Orr, rather than your
Chad,
eyeball.
you really got to start making some beer trades here, buddy. Yeah, you really got to start hooking up some beer
You
trades.
fucking scared, pussy.
I want my toilet to work.
Chad, I'm just going to throw this out to you, buddy. You may just want to call a plumber.
I'm not paying somebody $200 to do something that will cost me $5 once I can get to a fucking hardware store.
Can you walk to a hardware store?
No. Well, I could, but it's a 2-hour walk. I'm not doing it.
Can you take a taxi? Like, even if a taxi costs you like $30, like that would still be a lot cheaper than a plumber.
Well, when I wait for my wife to come here tomorrow, that's a lot cheaper than taking a taxi.
But in the meantime, you're shitting in a bucket.
I haven't shit in the bucket yet.
That's kind of disturbing, considering you say you do like 6 shits a day.
Yeah.
I've gone to work and done my business there.
Oh, okay.
That's why they have to evacuate.
Don't you shit liquid anyway? You could probably just wash that down the sink.
No, I don't shit liquid.
No, haven't you heard? He poops 6 times a day, and they're all perfectly formed, wonderful poops.
Really well formed.
Most of them are.
He has to break them up with a coat hanger.
Oh. Same when you get an abortion. No. Ew. Wait, no.
Oh, Nick.
That's just wrong.
You took it too far, buddy.
Yeah, you went a weird direction with that, Nick. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I'm just trying to, blend in.
I just want to blend in with abortion humor.
All these people are abortion humor. I'm trying to blend in with that, yeah.
I just got some more dislikes in it.
Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. People put fucking down.
Is anybody watching anymore, anyway?
We got 3 viewers, apparently.
3?
One of them's me.
Hey, you've all heard that joke, right? What do you do when you come in a girl? You take her kickboxing at the top of the stairs of the coat hanger factory. Am I right?
Uh, this is like a live-action game of Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. All right. I think I should get more beer.
I think you should. You don't seem drunk enough.
Yep, I'm already on number 3. I'm having the Anchors team now.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I'm
I
only
love
at
that
number
beer.
2, although in all fairness, my first bottle was pretty big.
This has to be my favorite lager of all time. This is like a fucking good lager. Anchors team?
If you turn the camera sideways, Chad's eye looks like a vagina.
He keeps his eye closed. He kind of looks like the tear duct kind of looks like the clitoris.
Yeah. Let's stimulate that motherfucker.
You play with it, you make it a little. Oh.
And his eyebrow looks like the chick was shaving but just missed one of the lips.
Fuck. He just had to tune out. He made him grossed out.
On that note, I gotta go drain the lizard.
I have vagina. Where'd Radar go?
I'm here.
Fuck Radar.
Fuck you. Motherfucker! So what's everybody drinking right now, anyway? What are you drinking, Radar?
The last of my side launch wheat.
Nice. What do you mean last of? Did you buy more at the LCBO, or did you...
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
I bought more this week.
I still got a can of it that I got a review. Review time is at a premium. I got so much fucking beer here.
I have beers left.
Yeah, what? How many beers?
2 beers left.
2 beers.
And then I'm out of review beer.
Lee will send him more.
Eventually I will. I'm still not even giving any sort of... here's when the beers are going to be sent anymore, because it's just become impossible to even fucking... predict when I can finally send out some beer mails I owe.
Oh, man.
It's just been fucking insanely busy at work. Every week, first the fucking assistant manager had some sort of family crisis where she was gone for a fucking month. So the fucking leader on our back shift team had to become fucking assistant manager for a while. So that made us shorthanded, so that made more shifts for everybody. Then fucking she comes back, and as soon as she comes back, the fucking manager, I'm going on my fucking 2-week vacation. Oh, la-di fucking da. So that means the fucking back shift leader has to fill in again. So we're still shorthanded. We're also shorthanded because the one dumbass who was the weak link on our team, he fucking finally quit. He should have been fired years ago, but still left us shorthanded, even though, he was pretty much useless.
Is the old guy I saw when me and Guy were there?
What's that?
Was it the old guy that me and Guy saw when we were there?
Huh?
I don't know.
Yes.
Talking about the same thing.
Oh, sorry.
It's Radar. Just tell him the same thing.
Were you guys at my Sobeys?
Yeah, we're talking about Nova Scotia, or he's talking about Nova Scotia. You ever been to Nova Scotia, Radar?
No. Yes, of course.
I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, it's just been a fucking clusterfuck where I've had almost no free time at all. So
You'll have to get down sometime, Radar, and when Guy comes down to visit Dawn or something.
Yeah, if I'm still jobless and
Yeah.
They haven't hired you back yet, Mr.
I'm
Vincent?
off. No.
Tell those fuckers to hire you back. I told them to.
I thought you were union.
What?
I thought you were unionized.
Unionized, yeah.
Then don't they have a thing about like preference? You're already part of the union, so they'll hire you back, or
I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's going to be a hearing type thing, arbitration.
oh really?
Yeah.
Just remember, no matter what anyone asks, you did not touch her there.
But Greg did.
Your line is there was consent. She said it was all right.
It was consensual.
We can't. Nobody likes me.
Exactly, there was consent.
It doesn't matter if it was grabbing her ass when she went through the turnstile. It was consensual.
Exactly. It's all that's important.
There are some girls there I would have loved to grab something.
Oh my god, the man's a pervert. We should kick him out of this chat because none of us are perverts.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Radar, you misogynist.
He's sick. I feel he doesn't respect women enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I respect
This
them.
coming from the guy that should be wearing a misogynist cape. He's such a super misogynist. Monogynist.
Super misogynist.
I said monogynist.
Monogamous.
Wow. I've hit that point.
You'd be actually surprised how many women love me.
One.
Well, no, she has to love me. But I'm talking how many women love me in a non-sexual way. I'm like, women for some reason find my honesty very refreshing.
So you tell them they're hot, and they believe you.
Basically, yeah. I feel like I'm about to watch a point of view like shitting video.
I'm in the
Right. You're in the loo?
the living room.
Oh, close enough.
I was just
So
I
you
was
could be
just-
shitting in a bucket?
I was just hooking the cell phone up to a battery bank.
Chad,
Sure.
is there only one
I'll
bathroom
be
in
right
your
back.
house?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's only one bathroom in my house.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't know how you could survive that, being a man of such active bowels. Because I'll tell you, there are times where I have to go, and if my girlfriend was on the can, she would get kicked the hell out of there. Or I'd be shitting off the side of the balcony, one or the other. But hey, I suppose you're a better man than me.
Well, we've always known that.
Get pwned by a rhino.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh. Or the last.
Oh god, his mouth is a vagina now.
You just had way too many to drink tonight. If you think his mouth is starting to look a vagina, I think you need to go to bed.
This is my second beer tonight. I'm not even close to falling asleep like last week, which I didn't do. I was just resting my eyes, I swear.
Sure,
Of course.
sure. Chad said the
course.
same thing.
There's no way that you were totally asleep for like the last 20 minutes. It didn't happen.
And you know what? That image was false. I wasn't just dreaming of Erica. I was also dreaming of Erica and that girl from Bose slapping their clams together.
Oh, well. Oh, you mean the girl from Bose last year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I think the two.
She's like that biker.
I think from what Chad told me, I think both her and Erica showed up at Chad's house like a couple weeks ago, and Chad fucked both of them. Right, Chad?
Yeah,
Right,
that-
Chad?
They both showed up, but I did not do anything to them.
I bet you wish you could.
They do anything to you?
No, nothing to me.
Because you know, if you just get a boner and they do stuff to you, it doesn't count as cheating.
So left
Yeah,
right.
have you never seen that film Knock Knock? It's actually assault and rape on their part. Yeah, I don't own Photoshop, so I don't have the skills to make a complex dream image for Greg. So
Jesus, Lee, come on. All I ask is that you Photoshop Erica's face and the other girl's face, I don't even know her name, on two women slapping their clams together.
this is terrible. I'm glad I'm a nobody in the beer world, so they'll never actually see this fucking chat.
I'm glad you are too, because eventually, if somebody actually saw this video of me, I could get in trouble.
Because I'd be very apologetic. The views and opinions of Greg are not necessarily the views and opinions of the Hougly channel.
Do you really care about the Hougly channel anymore?
Oh, fuck you. I care. I just put my content that I like on there.
From a movie perspective, he does.
That's right.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
In a whiskey perspective.
The beer perspective, meh.
Yeah, the beer's gone, but movies and whiskey coming soon. A new Scotch review. So there you go.
Oh, cool.
If any of my comments offend Daniel Harper, I apologize. Please don't leave Lee as the co-host, because Paul is very unreliable. And
they won't offend him because he's well aware of your comments from the first half of our run of episodes so far. So.
I know, and I apologize. I've been lazy. I've been meaning to put so many comments on your videos, and I just haven't. I'm still meaning to give you guys a comment for the Predator 2 and RoboCop 2 video. I just never get around to it.
Hey, anytime you want to, dude. Doesn't matter.
But I still listen to all your content. I enjoy it.
But I mean, whenever you get the time, if the mood strikes you, feel free, and we'll read them. So. Doesn't have to be new episodes. You can go back like 10 fucking episodes or whatever. It doesn't matter to us.
All right. Well, that sounds exciting. Although I'm a little all the new the new titty flicks you guys are doing. I actually want to watch those, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Especially since I'm sure most of them I can just watch on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know if you can find. Actually, I think Eurotrip might be on YouTube as well, but. Guest that's definitely on YouTube.
Eurotrip, isn't that like a relatively new movie? Like, isn't that like only 10 years ago or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Eurotrip? That was Michelle
12 years.
Like Tom Green.
Daniel Trachtenberg.
No, that was
back when Tom Green was cool.
No, that was
Road Trip. No, that was Road Trip that he was in.
That was Road Trip that he was in.
Oh, okay.
Eurotrip had Michelle
Daniel Trachtenberg.
Who was, and by the way, thankfully she was of age at that point in that movie, so I don't have to feel bad about fucking drooling over her.
Masturbating in the bathroom.
Exactly.
So Michelle Trachtenberg?
Yeah. She was 18 at that point when she did the movie.
Yeah, she was 18 when she showed her bikini body.
Yeah, unfortunately no nudity, but whatever.
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
she made it with her brother.
Keep in mind, age of consent in Canada is 16, and if you're in Quebec, it's like 8.
8. I don't think it's quite 8.
No.
8.
Basically, the French people have a grass on the field rule.
No, I mean, the French generally do have some more liberal interpretations of sexual things, and they give their kids wine at an early age, but I would not say 8 is the age of consent. Let's not go quite that far.
If she's 8, it's okay to... No. Greg knows. Gross. You're gonna get people like Greg flagged for content.
Oh, who cares?
Greg does. Actually, no, he doesn't.
I don't care.
Forgot who I talked to.
People can flag me. The one guy who actively tried to get me fucking knocked down was goddamn Dave, and he failed miserably. So,
Goddamn Dave.
you know,
Jesus
I found it ironic, by the way. Every once in a while, I do check back to see what the fuck Dave is saying because he's really gone on the fucking crazy pills as of late. And he recently did a video about how BMG Music or whatever was flagging his videos for copyright strikes, and he was bitching about it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, welcome to fucking YouTube, asshole. How long have you been on YouTube now, and you don't realize that that's the way things go around here?
Welcome to YouTube,
But I just found it ironic that this was the guy who was actively trying to get my videos censored, taken down, and he's sitting there complaining about a legit company with copyright concerns trying to take his videos down, and he was acting like he was being censored or something like that. It was like, fuck you, you old piece of shit.
2004, that's old. Euro trips, 2004.
Yeah, that's 12 years, yeah.
Excuse me.
It's old, but it's not like a 70s movie like a lot of the other stuff we cover.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at pictures of Michelle Trachtenberg of 2015. She got a little bit fat, but she still looks okay.
Oh, she looks better now, man. I mean, she got some meat on the bones, right?
Yeah.
She was super skinny back then.
I don't think there's anyone in this chat room that should call anybody fat.
I can. I'm perfectly.
You're right.
I'm perfectly skinny, and I got a six pack. It's just hidden under my keg.
Yeah, you're probably the skinniest of us.
Yeah.
But that's not saying much.
No, I think Lee's probably the skinniest of us.
Probably. I don't know. I think.
Definitely not me or Chad.
Well, when you think about it, like, not to brag or anything, but I think Chad and I both have pretty good fat to muscle ratios overall.
I got a little bit of muscle on here.
Yeah, in your right arm.
That's right. That's right. The other one, for some reason, just isn't nearly as big. I don't know.
But yeah, for the sex comedy series, although we do sort of focus on like really older movies, we do try to throw one or two modern ones in just round things out a bit.
I'm still blown away by the fact that in that movie, The Van, that girl who was like considered to be the super fat girl in the movie, even though she probably only weighed about 140 pounds. When you actually look up the actress, she was like 60 when she did that role, and I was like, she doesn't look 60 in that role.
No, she was. It was 50-something. She was when she was in that.
It was like 58 or something.
Yeah, she'd been acting for quite a while, but her face, like, she did look really young in the face, and so they just put her in. And it was like, wow, that was like the weirdest piece of trivia I've ever seen for one of these movies. Honestly, it was like, she was that fucking old in that film? Like, really?
Yeah. I discovered that just because I'm a pervert. Whenever I see a naked woman, I'm like, I want to find out what other naked stuff this woman did. So I look up her profile on IMDb, and then
yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this woman's dead. Oh, that's sad. Oh, but she died at age 70, 20 years after she did this movie. It's like, she was really fucking old.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's really good for really going hardcore into fucking details. Like the last episode, he came back with stuff from the previous episode that he researched, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like I think I was just listening to that at the gym earlier today. Like one of the people in the movie you're watching is like at York University now or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect timing. The person who did the music was like York University and did like lots of music for other Canadian stuff, different shows and movies and shit like that. And yeah.
Very interesting. Chad, is there any Canadian beer news this week?
No.
No?
There was two more recalls from Goose Island's Berman County line.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they recalled the regular Bourbon County, 4 different bottlings of it, and they recalled the proprietors back.
What was wrong with it?
The same thing, it had lacto in it.
Sorry, you cut out there. It had what in it?
It had lactobacillus.
So it was the same problem that the barley wine had?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they've traced it down. It wasn't the barrels. It's a sanitation problem, obviously. So they expanded way too quickly and didn't pay attention because apparently they traced it back to the transfer tanks.
Who is this?
Bourbon County had some
Bourbon
more.
County, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll hear all about it from Jay Terrio when he.
And then in another 6 months, we'll hear about it from Ethan.
Another 6 years, more like it.
I haven't even talked to Ethan lately.
Yeah, what the fuck's that weird little conservative motherfucker doing?
Too busy with all the Trump rallies, probably.
No.
Spending a lot of time growing that mustache.
Got the Ohio Elvis look going on.
We need Ethan Flair back. We need fucking Joe back.
Hey, where the fuck is Joe? That's what I take issue with.
Yeah, I'm starting to take it a little personally here. I'm kind of starting to wonder if he doesn't like us like actively anymore. As if maybe we offended him or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
guys, maybe Joe's got a girl over.
If he does, good for him. But bros before hoes, dude. Come on now.
Yeah, come on, man.
But I mean, if someone here actively fucking offended him, Jesus Christ, let us know because.
You were told him he couldn't hang out with them anymore if he kept talking to us.
Oh, but Ewert's not even here. If Ewert's not here,
yeah, you were right off.
I think he's still on his little cross North America beer tour.
Yeah.
Okay. This might seem a little drastic, but Ewert, have you considered murdering your family so you can spend more time with your BDU friends?
That is a very good question.
I mean, I don't think it's too much to ask.
Oh, I'm at 22% battery. Let's see how much longer I can last.
Or maybe Ewert's too busy at the Crown Royal
Yeah, that's what
factory
she
making
said.
a delicious Crown Royal rye for us to drink.
The man works hard.
That's what she said.
He works hard for the money. So hard for it, honey. What's gonna treat you right?
Get your mama right.
Yeah.
So I was in the States this weekend. I bought, I already had Crown Royal rye, and then I bought some Canadian Club rye and some Jim Beam rye, which is not Canadian whiskey, obviously. It's an American whiskey, but so now I got to do a taste test of them to see is there really a difference between the two of them, because the Jim Beam and the Canadian Club were fucking about $15 per bottle, and the Crown Royal was double that. It was about $30 a bottle. So is Crown Royal really worth double the price?
Yeah, I haven't had the Crown Royal rye yet, so.
It's good. I don't know. What was the other one you said?
I have had it. It's really good. Well, the other one is Canadian Club rye, which I automatically assume is not going to be as good because it's only 40% alcohol.
It was good though. I liked it.
It
That's
was
probably
good.
that for bang for buck. That's probably your best Canadian Club you can find.
You know what? I gotta say
yeah.
a little moment of mourning. I'm depressed that my Talisker that low.
Chug.
Yeah, I already
That's a
know.
shame. That's a shame because I've got a bottle that's not even opened yet.
I've got very little of my Talisker Storm left as well.
Talisker 10 is so good.
Talisker 10 is way better than Talisker Storm. Just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much
know
right in the
what?
same boat as you are there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
You
you
know
got
what?
a little bit more left than I do. What do you think about Lefroy Quarter Cask? I was thinking of getting that next.
I think Lefroy Quarter Cask is fantastic.
Yes, it is. Depending on the mood, depending on the day and the mood you ask me in, I will tell you it is my favorite whiskey of all time.
Ooh. That's some good. That's some good.
And I hate it.
Right there. I don't care what you think.
Yeah, what? Yeah, fuck you, Chad. You don't hate it. Fuck you, you bitch.
I do.
You don't. You do not.
Yeah, but the taste differ. I think it's got something to do with your lack of pigment.
That is an objective lie right there that the Rhino just said he hates it. Fuck you, you hate it. You might like it less than some other whiskeys, but you do not hate it.
I do hate it.
You don't hate fucking quarter cask. You lying pigment deficient.
There's a reason
bitch.
I was trying to get you drunk on quarter cask when you were here. Just get rid of it.
Bullshit. Bullshit. You do not hate quarter cask. There is no way anyone. There is no way anyone who likes peated whiskeys can hate quarter cask. It's not a possibility in this universe. I'm sorry. Unless you come from an alternate universe, there's no possibility.
Well, what did you think of the Talisker I left you there, Chad?
I enjoyed that.
Good.
You know what though? The thing is, when it comes to like all the main expressions, like you got the Ardbeg 10, the Ardbeg Ugadal, which is popular too, the Talisker 10, which I know isn't quite as. Okay, let's just go ahead and mute that motherfucker. The Talisker 10, which I know isn't quite as peaty, but it's more of a mixture, and then you got the Lefroy 10, the Lefroy Quarter Cask, and the Lagavulin 16, which is a bit more expensive. All those regular expressions are fucking awesome. And they're awesome because, guess what? Everyone fucking loves them. They sell a lot of them. When you get into like the fancy ones like Talisker Storm and all the freaking Ugadals that cost like $150 a bottle, are they any better? Probably not. They're just unique that not as many people get to try them.
Well, I had the Ewart sent me a thing of the Ardbeg 10, and I gotta say, I was a little disappointed. I was expecting something maybe a bit more meatier in the smoke department.
Well,
Ardbeg?
That was a little thin.
Well, he sent you the little sample bottles too. You got to take into account that you're not quite getting the fresh kind of thing from the bottle.
Yeah.
So
The thing
he filled them right up to the top. So
yeah. But I mean,
the thing with the Ardbeg 10 is you will have. I find that to be an inconsistent whiskey, where I've had bottles of it that are not all that good, and I've had other bottles that are much better.
Yeah, but you think a little flask of Ardbeg 10 that it would be less oxidized than what's left in this bottle of Talisker, and this Talisker still blows it away.
I would still recommend though you actually pick up yourself an Ardbeg 10 and just try it and compare it to the sample that you had sent you and see what you think, because.
Well, that being said, I mean,
I get Ardbeg 10 here anymore.
Really?
I don't know, yeah, like I don't know what your prices are, but if you can get Ardbeg Ugadal for anywhere near the price you can get Ardbeg 10, get that instead.
How much does Ardbeg 10 go for up there?
Well, at the LCBO, it's $100 for Ardbeg 10 and about $180 for Ardbeg Ugadal. But when I buy it at the States, it's only a $10 difference between the two. So guess what? I will buy Ardbeg Ugadal all the time instead.
Yeah, Ardbeg Ugadal goes for 120 here. I'm not buying that.
How much does Ardbeg 10 go for? Because if Ardbeg 10 goes for $100, I would say spend the extra 20 get the Ugadal.
Doesn't looking at New Brunswick Liquor, we can't get Ardbeg 10.
Yeah, so get the. As far as I'm concerned, Ugadal is pound for pound the best whiskey I've ever had. But
we can get Ardbeg, Ari Verds, Ardbeg Corey Vrecken.
Corey Vrecken is very basically Corey Vrecken is basically a strong version of Ardbeg 10. So if you like Corey Vrecken, but you maybe want something a little less intense, that's the Ardbeg 10.
Yeah, I want something a little bit more intense, I think. I like the flavor.
Well, see, Ardbeg Ugadal is like Ardbeg 10, but it's mixed with like a sherried whiskey, which oftentimes doesn't work. Like the distiller's edition of Lagavulin, I don't care for all that much, but Ardbeg Ugadal, they knock it out of the park.
And we've also got Ardbeg. Corey Vrecken is 173.
Wow.
And the other one is Ardbeg Dark Cove. Which I've never heard of.
Yeah, that's Ardbeg. Every year they release a special edition whiskey, which is usually very expensive, and that's probably I think that's last year's, because I think this year's one is like called Paradiem or Paradiculum or something like that.
It's supposed to be like special order. There's 18 in the warehouse, but they're 150 a pop. There's nothing in stores.
Well, actually, you know what? I mean, I think Ardbeg 18, they've almost discontinued that. Like, they have very little quantity, so $150 actually doesn't sound that bad for it.
I kind of wonder if they're ditching age statements because of how common whiskey is nowadays.
A lot of companies are because they can't get quality malts anymore.
Yeah, like McLennan or Callum or whatever it is.
You see a lot of big companies now. They're releasing stuff about age statements because they're relying on blends of different years. Like it's not usual. Like it's not blends of different whiskeys, but it's blends of different malts, and it's not necessarily the same quality as they've been used to. So
yeah, but I mean at that point, if you're going to blend something, that's no longer a single malt.
Well, you can have single malt blends. If it is the same malt but from different years, then it's still considered a single malt. But if it's different malts from different places,
I thought single malt meant everything came from the single malting.
No. That's a single cask.
Yeah, a single malt from different
Isn't
years.
Isn't a single cask actually from the same cask?
Like the same barrel. A single malt by definition is a whiskey that's all from the same distillery. So you can have a bottle of Ardbeg it's mixed of Ardbeg that was distilled in 1970 and it's aged for 20 years, and Ardbeg that was distilled for 3 years that was distilled in 1995. It's still considered a single malt.
Yeah.
When you're talking about
this is a perfect example. Talisker Storm. This is one of those. This is one of those new specialties from big companies that does not give you an age statement because there's maltings from different years, but they're from the same fucking distillery, so it's still considered a single malt.
Yeah, but isn't that like diluting the product that they used to have?
It can, depending on the malt quality.
That's the thing is that there's some. They're called NAS whiskeys, no age statement whiskeys. There's some that are fantastic, and there's some that are not so good. It all depends on the quality, on the company. And that's why I think anyone buying whiskey nowadays, especially what Scotch costs, look up reviews and see what people are saying about it. Like,
this makes me think that maybe I should be picking up a bottle of Balvenie 12 Doublewood before it's all gone. If they're all switching to this kind of.
I'll tell you, my biggest regret is I used to be able to get a bottle of Balvenie 21-year-old Portwood, which apparently was fucking fantastic, and I could get it for about $140 a bottle at duty free.
Yeah,
they're all out of it, and now I can only get it at LCBO for about $400 a bottle.
Holy fuck!
Yeah,
that's pricey.
But no, like there's certain ones that are really good, like Lefroy Quarter Cask. Again, like Lee said, it's fantastic. Ardbeg Ugadel, again, it's a little more expensive, but if you get it for a reasonable price, that's fantastic as well. There's a lot of really good no-age statement whiskeys out there, but there's also a lot of whiskey companies that are like, hey, you know what? Let's, instead of selling our 10-year-old for $60, let's make our 10-year-old cost $100, and we're going to make our no-age statement whiskey, which is really a 4-year-old whiskey, and we're going to charge you $60 for that instead.
Yeah. There's a lot of kind of underhandedness in a lot of distilleries in the way they do these things. I mean, quarter cask for me is like your best bang for buck, and it's just like one of the most high class whiskeys at the same time in the world. And that is a 8 to 10-year-old whiskey at the most, depending on what versions of Lefroy are stuck into it. But the maturation is enhanced by the smaller casks that they put it in. So it's both youthful, but it's also kind of like really hard hitting and advanced as well and complex. So
that's the thing, is it all comes down to like the way it's aged. Like I age my own rum occasionally. Like I can get a lot of family members I know go to Cuba, so I can get like really cheap Havana Club rum. And I'll just stick a couple wood staves into it, and I'll age it for like 6 months. And the rum I make, it tastes like a 20-year-old Havana Club. It just, it's just the way it's aged, because my rum comes into contact with a lot more wood than the wood in the barrels, right? So,
yeah.
And like it's like a quarter cask. That's how they make it. The rum taste actually, sorry, not the rum. The Scotch taste actually older than it actually is because they age it in a smaller cask, which makes a big difference.
More exposed, like the liters of whiskey compared to the surface area of the barrel that it's in is much. The ratio is a lot higher. There's more
Exactly.
wood to the whiskey because it's a smaller barrel.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
And you know
It
what?
matures faster.
In my experience, I think higher strength whiskey often is more important than higher, like older whiskey. Like I would generally take, like, say, an under 10-year-old whiskey that's like 48% alcohol versus like a 20-year-old whiskey that's like 40% alcohol.
Oh no, totally. The thing people don't realize sometimes is that one of the big reasons people are looking for cask strength whiskey, which is 46% or over, is because alcohol brings out the flavors more. It brings out more complexity. It brings out more flavors. It also brings out more punch, of course. But that's what you're looking for. The 40% stuff is highly diluted. I mean, you can find great 40% whiskeys. I mean, there's no shortage of those out there. But cask strength is where you're looking for if you're seriously looking for like really great whiskeys.
Well, this Talisker 10 that I got is 45.8%. It must be pretty close to cask.
They have weird. They make like a point about how weird their fucking percentages are. This one here, the Talisker Storm is 45.8.
That's the same as this.
Yeah, and they actually write on the write up here for it about how bottled at the distillery's unique 45.8 ABV. Talisker Storm is a truly tempestuous single malt. So it's part marketing, of course, because it's just like, okay, so we're getting just under cask strength, and we're gonna make some sort of artistic deal about it to make it sound like it's special, but you know.
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say cask strength on most scotches, depending on the scotch, is somewhere in the range of between 55 to 65%.
Yes.
So if you're saying 45.8, that's watered down a little bit, but still, 45.8 is a pretty nice percentage point, because that's at the point where you can choose to drink it straight if you want, or you can add a bit of water to knock it down a bit. Whereas the ones that are like 60%, you can drink it straight if you really want to, but you'll probably want to add some water to it.
Yeah, if you get 50 and above, you might want to actually like seriously consider adding like a good little amount of water to it. But if you're just doing like cask strength stuff that's like at 46 to 50, that sort of range, honestly, even if you're adding water, you don't want to add more than like maybe a few drops, honestly, because you're not trying to dilute it so much as you're trying to bring the flavors out to go above the actual alcohol content, where you don't get the alcohol kick and you get more of the flavor. And a few drops of water can actually fucking do that. They can actually change the chemical composition of the actual alcohol to a significant degree that actually happens. So. But that's not for every whiskey, of course. Like there's some whiskeys where adding water ain't gonna do shit. It's just gonna water it down, no matter what you do. So. All right. Let's see if we have any. Let's see if we have any comments. Let's see if anyone wanted to say. No one wants to say nothing. Just a rhino who jumped out for some reason. I guess he probably had some sort of emergency at the toilet, so he had to.
Could be. He might have had to take a shit. I think, though, like when it comes to whiskey, though, I'm almost. I haven't had a lot of whiskeys, and I'm almost at the point where I'm thinking, like, if I'm going to spend well over $100 on a bottle of whiskey, I kind of want to try like Lagavulin.
Yeah.
Like a Lagavulin 16, if I can find one.
That'd be a worthy purchase.
I think, was it Emby Liquor has in various locations for like 129.
That's fair. That's fair for Lagavulin.
a bit more than we get it for, but it's like
Well, that's
we
a
get it-
16.
We get it for about 115 a bottle, so yours is a little more expensive, but not much.
Yeah, but you know, when the difference between 116 and 129 or whatever, like, you know, come on. I mean, at that point, you've pretty much committed. So,
Well, here's the thing. Like a Lagavulin 12, like, we can get it now in New Brunswick, but it's 160. Like, what the hell?
Really?
What's the difference between
The reason is that Lagavulin 12 is cask strength. It's like 50-something%.
there you go.
Okay.
Lagavulin 16 is bottled at Lagavulin 16. It's a very manufactured whiskey. It's 43%. It's colored. It's like it's all the things that a whiskey nerd doesn't like. But at the end of the day, it's a fucking fantastic whiskey.
Yeah.
Although it's a lot more of a smooth whiskey. Like it's,
So it's like Goose Island.
it's kind of like I'd almost say like, you know, Ardbeg or Lafroig or something. It's like banging some crazy raver chick, whereas Lagavulin's like banging like some virginal schoolgirl. I mean, they're both good, but they're just done in a different way.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went there.
This is not gonna be like the women's rights episode, is it?
Oh no, definitely not. But yeah, age statements usually don't mean shit. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, unless it's 12 or over, I'm not even gonna consider it." Well, it's fucking stupid because there's. I think even more and more now, age statements don't mean shit. Because there's just new ways of doing whiskey now. Like people are distilling in different ways in different casks,
Kirby.
and different blends of single malts and stuff. It's just advanced to a point where an 18-year-old doesn't necessarily mean shit. And honestly, an 18-year-old kind of makes you weary, where you're like, maybe this stuff has just kind of smoothed out to the point where I'm not even interested anymore. There's not going to be big flavors.
Like, I mean, I've had samples of Glenfiddich, Glenlivet, Glenmorangie, 18-year-old. I've had Isla Jura, or Jura, however it's pronounced, 21-year-old, and all those whiskeys I would never buy a bottle of because they're incredibly boring whiskeys to drink. Like I just paid for a sample, but they weren't, anything special.
You see, that's why I love Lafroig, because I want that fucking punch. Like, quarter cask, as much as it is more matured because of the smaller cask, it's still got that fucking...
Lafroig quarter cask is just fantastic. Sadly, I used to be able to get it for $42 a bottle, like a 1 liter bottle. I sadly can't do that anymore. They bumped it up to about $70 a 1 liter bottle, but that's still a pretty good deal in the world.
That's a fucking great deal. That is a fucking fantastic deal, because that's right around what I'm paying for like a 750 over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, holy shit, $42! I kind of kicked myself for not stocking up on more of it than I did. But
because all I'm carrying right now is Lafroig 10, and Lafroig 10's fantastic, but it's no quarter cask. Quarter cask, it just beats the fuck out of it.
yeah, no, it's good. There's actually another supposedly really good Lafroig. Can't pronounce it. It was like Acur Adore or something. Like, it was a weird name, and it was like a duty-free exclusive. And I kind of kicked myself for not buying it because apparently that one was really good too, and it was only $45 for. It was a 750 milliliter bottle, but it was only $45. So
I'm trying to remember which one I had. I had one of their specialties earlier this year. Let's search my channel here.
I like whatever that Lafroig was that your friend's wife tried and said, "Oh go, fuck me."
Yeah, Tammy was not a fan.
But you know, I love it when people that haven't ever had a peated whiskey before have a peated whiskey for the first time. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. And that one wasn't necessarily high in peat either. It was more like shoe leather. It was like very, very leathery.
Hey, I remember when I first started getting into Scotch, like literally the first Scotch I had was Johnny Walker Red, and I thought the peat was, I almost wanted to puke. I thought it was so bad.
Yeah, the one I had up with my friend there was a Lafroig Caradias.
Oh, okay.
So that was
never had that one.
That was a 2014 bottling. And then I've had the triple wood, and of course I had the 10-year-old and the quarter cask. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually just get whichever one's at duty free, which happens to be the quarter cask all the time. So that's the one I got. Actually, I gotta buy a bottle of that next time the in-laws are going to the States. But,
Yeah.
but the thing is with peated whiskeys, I mean, there aren't like basically you got to buy them in Michigan, which I can get Ugadal for about $80 US, which with the shitty Canadian dollar, it's like $110 Canadian, but still, it's not bad.
Do you have to pay duty when you bring it over?
Not if you are creative about how you tell them you got it.
Huh.
So, in other words,
I mean, generally speaking, if you're there 48 hours, you're entitled to a bottle per person. We're usually there like around 40 hours, so we just kind of have to be like, oh yeah, we've been up since Friday night. We're coming back Sunday night, so it's 48 hours, right? But you know what? I've never, like, in the 6 or 7 years I've been going back and forth to the States to visit family and buying duty-free booze, I've never once paid duty on it. So. It's really the only people they're really after are the people that like go across the border and come back 2 hours later with like a bunch of booze in their car. Then they'll nail you for it. But generally, if you're there for like a day or two, they don't care.
you're like me.
Yeah, like my dad once. My dad was there for once about like 26, 27 hours, basically a day. And he bought a bottle of booze for me, and they lectured him at the border that he wasn't supposed to take it, but they let him through anyway without any duties.
Yeah, I'm the kind that'll actually go across because I can get different beers and stuff in the States. I'm more interested in getting different stuff I haven't had than saving any kind of money.
Well, from what I've been told by both Chad and my uncle, who also does a lot of cross-border shopping because he lives in St. Catharines near where Chad lives. Basically, I don't think the border guards generally don't care too much about beer. Like, it's only like once every 5 or 6 trips that they actually get nailed for beer. But as soon as you get a bottle of liquor, they tend to be a lot more strict on that.
Yeah. Most of the time I've gone through the border, they've nailed me. I think there's only been once that I've gone through, maybe twice, they've nailed me for. But that's New Brunswick. New Brunswick is really strict about bringing booze across into the province.
Yeah, it depends.
The only time I got away with it is I picked up a 12-pack of Sam Adams and they let me through.
Oh, you're a lucky kid.
But there was another time where I went across for a couple hours to shop and brought back I think I ended up buying $80 worth of bro booze. And then they ding me for customs. They still let me through with it, but they charged me duty, and the duty's 100% markup.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when you pay $80 for booze and they charge you almost that much in duty.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not like it's stuff I can't get. It's stuff I can't get, so I do it anyway because I wanted to try some. Now, as long as I go across thinking, yeah, I'm gonna pay double for this, so that's where it's I accept the risk. And they might let me across if I don't pick up too much.
Yeah, you know what? If it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you. I think the key is if you buy less than 24, they have a tendency to just wave you through because it requires a lot more work on their part.
Yeah. There you go.
What's that?
Liquorman's.
Liquorman's. Oh my God.
It's the Trailer Park Boys whiskey.
I don't trust you one bit. I'll tell you,
it's not bad.
All this talk of whiskey makes me want to have a whiskey, except I'm having beer right now.
You're having beer right now? Well, once you're finished your beer, you have some whiskey.
I might do that. I might just do that.
I'll probably knock off after this.
I'll probably knock one out after this.
After looking at those biker chicks?
That's right, the biker chicks, and then Thinking about the 8-year-old girls in Quebec.
Aw. See, that's your prerogative.
Don't judge me.
What's going on? What did I miss? What offensive thing did Greg just say?
Hougly Beer Reviews disclaimer. Greg is not actually a pedophile. He just pretends to be. Please don't arrest him.
Oh. And don't arrest me as a fucking accomplice, apparently. No, not an accomplice, an accessory to. Yeah.
You're more like a strap-on.
I've never been described that way. That's just great. See, you're the strap-on of this fucking chat. Yeah, if we got 3 viewers, come on now. Well, 2 viewers technically, I guess. You gotta be leaving comments.
Leave a comment.
Don't you make me. Don't. Oh, here we go.
Ooh,
Jimmy
comment.
Jazz says, any favorite bourbons?
Ooh, yes. On my regular bourbons that you can get all the time, Knob Creek is my favorite, followed by Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
I don't know why my camera's off. I think those are both fantastic bourbons, and they're both relatively quite cheap.
I like Maker's Mark. And I like Jim Beam Black. And I will be trying Knob Creek sometime here in the future, very soon.
Yeah, Maker's Mark. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, although it's, I think it's a different version than the standard Knob Creek because it's like 50-some fucking bucks. It's like Knob Creek, some sort of weird special reserve or some shit.
Well, there's Knob Creek. Like the regular ones that are available are Knob Creek. Then there's Knob Creek Single Barrel, which is higher percentage and it's more expensive. And then there's Knob Creek Rye, and then I think there's like a Knob Creek Maple or something.
I'm just gonna look it up here.
But Maker's Mark is one of those whiskeys where a lot of people really like. I've always thought it was an okay whiskey. I've never really been huge on that one. But I've always found that one had a little bit more bite than I prefer for a whiskey, which is weird because a lot of people say it's a good beginner's bourbon, but I always thought it was had quite a bit of alcohol kick to it.
Yeah, see, I've never found that with Maker's Mark. I've never had a bottle that really had much of an alcohol kick to it. So.
Yeah, you and most people, but I'm just weird in that regard because most people would agree with you. Most people think Maker's Mark's a very nice bourbon, a very nice drinking bourbon. Now I've got a bottle of Maker's Mark cask strength, and that one, granted, I expect the alcohol kick on that one, but that one is I actually prefer because it's got more flavor and it's got more of a kick, but I add a little bit of water to it, and it's quite nice to drink.
Yeah, the Knob Creek we're going to be buying is the single barrel.
Sorry, what was that? You kind of cut out for me there.
The Knob Creek I'm going to be buying is the single barrel.
Oh, the single barrel. Okay. See, I've got a bottle of that I bought a few years ago, and I still haven't opened it yet. So, but the regular Knob Creek I love. Like, it's my pound for pound favorite bourbon I've had without like going to some weird special editions or hard to get ones. Like, I'm sure I've never had any bottles of Pappy or anything. I'm sure those are probably better, but.
So I've heard, yeah.
Like I've had a bottle of Four Roses 125th anniversary, and I've still got a few sealed bottles actually, and those are absolutely fantastic. But it's not something you can get unless you.
I've heard the legendary applauds for fucking Four Roses and fucking Pappy Van Winkle and yeah.
Four Roses all around makes solid bourbon. Like even if you just get their small batch, like it's a very solid bourbon. But my favorite is still Knob Creek of any regular bourbon you can get. Like, even Booker's, like, that one's fairly regularly available, but it's a lot more expensive than Knob Creek, and I don't, in my opinion, not worth the extra money.
I don't know.
Especially since, and again, it depends where you're shopping. In Canada, shit's always more expensive. But if you're shopping in the States, I mean, a bottle of Knob Creek is like $30. A bottle of Buffalo Trace is about the same. It's about $30, and it's hard. Like Yeah, I'd be hard pressed if I lived in the States to want to drink single malt Scotch, because is single malt Scotch better in some ways? Yeah, it can be, but it's also like 2 to 3 times more expensive, and it's not 2 to 3 times better.
I am firmly in the camp of arguing that bourbon very much is North American Scotch in a lot of ways, and
Yeah.
it's quality-wise. When you find the best ones, they're right up there with pretty much a lot of the best quality Scotches. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you your opinion. Do you consider
In your
Jack
opinion.
Daniel? Do you consider Jack Daniels to be a bourbon, even though it's technically legally not classified as one?
In my opinion, it's close enough that it really is a bourbon, but I mean, I understand there's a lot of technicalities to it, and a lot of people even say it's like a flavored bourbon because the maple flavors it and stuff. You know what? In my opinion, it's close enough that I would consider it a bourbon, or at least a bourbon-like whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, all it really is just bourbon filtered through charcoal.
Yeah, and that's really the hang-up, is what is the bourbon, does the charcoal filtering count as something outside the realm of bourbon? And yes and no. I mean, it kind of does, it kind of doesn't, right? Like,
And then when you stack it up against like stuff that's considered legit bourbon, honestly, like I'm not a big Jack Daniels hater or anything, but Jack Daniels is definitely not on the same level as even like Jim Beam or something like that. Like Jim Beam White is even a better whiskey as far as I'm concerned.
well, I think the charcoal filtering, I think it makes for a smoother whiskey. It makes for a less flavorful whiskey as well.
Totally agree.
Like, there was a whiskey that really made me sad that came out in Canada about 2 years ago. It was called Collingwood 21-year-old rye whiskey. And basically, it was one of those stories where, oh, we found a bunch of barrels of 21-year-old whiskey. And a large percentage was rye. It was still blended, but it was a high percentage rye. And we found it somewhere, and now we're releasing it. Except Collingwood whiskey, their regular whiskey, it's massively maple filtered, much like Jack Daniels is. Except on a Canadian whiskey, you taste it a lot more, and on a Canadian whiskey, it tastes like it's been sweetened.
Less to hide it.
And that's
Less
the
to
same
hide
thing
in a Canadian one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They took this 21-year-old whiskey and they put it through the same filtering process. And in my opinion, still a great whiskey, but it could have been so much more if they didn't filter it. Yet they chose to filter it, and then they bottled it at 40%. Granted, it was an amazing price. It was like $50 a bottle. Fantastic price. But it just made me sad that I'm like, I would have rather you charge me a little bit more money and then make the whiskey just a little bit better. That being said, if you can ever get Collingwood 21 for around the price, $50 a bottle, I'd suggest you buy it. It is a damn good whiskey, but it just could have been better. Yeah, I don't like filtering stuff to make stuff smoother. As soon as something becomes smoother, that to me automatically means it's less flavorful. Like water is smooth; it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor.
I mean, I find like the reason I don't go to Jack Daniels a lot of the time is just it's a little too sweet. Like it's just kind of it feels
a bit sweet.
It feels very generic and sweet to me when I'm drinking it. I mean, it can still. I mean, part of the thing is that's kind of deceptive, and that makes it like easier to drink, and it does kick you in the ass. So I mean, there is that benefit. Like, if you want to get drunk real quick, you can start shooting back Jack Daniels, no problem. But that's not what I'm looking for in whiskey. I mean, I'm not drinking whiskey to fucking get drunk. Well, I am drinking whiskey to get drunk, but not in that fashion where I'm just slugging the shit down. I'm looking to savor it and have fun and enjoy myself. So,
yeah,
and Jack Daniels, I can't do it with that. I can do that with a good sipping bourbon, you know. So,
see, I enjoy Jack Daniels. Like it's to me like almost I consider like a secondary whiskey, and what I mean by that is like, for instance, tonight if I'm already had a couple beers, I want to have a whiskey. I'm probably not going to go for something top shelf because if I'm going for something like Ardbeg Uigeadail, I want to really savor it. I want that to be the star of the show all evening. Whereas something, if I'm in the mood just to have a little bit of whiskey, something that's decent, like I could totally see having like a Jack Daniels now if I had some. because I think it's a pretty decent whiskey. I think it's not an amazing whiskey, but
No.
it's also I can also get it for about $22 a bottle at duty free. So if I've got nothing else to buy, I've got really nothing to complain about that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's worked for some people. I mean, fucking Lemmy drank a fucking bottle of it every day. And he lived till 70 or whatever, so, you know. That's all you can ask for. Who wants to live past 70 anyway? Fuck that shit. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't recommend for the general person to drink a whole bottle of it every day, but
no, might not
maybe half a bottle.
Yeah, might not fit into your regimen quite as much. Yeah.
But I'm actually starting to get more into hard alcohol. Funny enough, because I'm actually trying to lose a little bit of weight, So I'm like, well, instead of beer and having all the carbs and stuff, I'm gonna have some whiskey. Plus, because I've got a lot of bottles of whiskey, it doesn't cost me any money.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Like, I quit the beer reviews, and I've been sort of slowing down on beer consumption too. Like, I'm not at the point where I might buy beer once a week, and for the most part, I'm kind of transitioning into trying to build up a fucking cache of whiskey bottles. So,
trying to build up your 6-pack so you can go ahead.
I'm never gonna have a 6-pack. I'm just not that guy. I might eventually get very lean, but I'm never gonna have a 6-pack. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be Jason Statham. I'll be Jason Statham's sickly white twin. But other than that, no.
Lean, mean, redhead fucking machine.
That's all I'm interested in, honestly. Yes.
Redheads.
Jason Statham and Lee Russell in Switched at Birth.
Yeah, I wish I was Jason Statham. And if I was Jason Statham, I would have fucked that redhead in the second or third Transporter movie. Oh yeah.
I think if you're Jason Statham, you'd fuck any redhead you want.
Pretty much, yes. But yeah. I'll be extremely happy if I'm, 70 and not everything hurts. That'll be a pretty good thing.
I thought you were gonna say like 70 and still alive.
Well, that too. I mean, but I mean, the caveat is if I'm alive at 70, it'll be good if not everything hurts.
That would be ideal.
I don't want to be 70 and like an incredibly big fat ass where everything's gonna fail on you all at once. I've seen too many people in my family have that sort of issue.
There you go, Lee.
Oh, jeez. Redhead girl, athletic. Already seating. There we go. Oh, yeah. Bree Daniels.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Mia Solis. She's fucking amazing.
Look her up. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, she's fucking amazing.
She's nice to look at. Damn. Part of me wishes I could be the guy that takes pictures of these girls.
Yeah, that'd be a good gig, man. That'd be an awesome gig.
It's like, how often do female models fuck their photographers? Sorry.
Even if they didn't still, that'd be a great job. That'd be so good. Oh no, I'm a professional. I'm in no way, shape, or form turned on by the fact that you're naked in front of me while I'm taking pictures. Of course. Yes.
Excuse me while I conceal the boner.
Well,
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
a lot of these photographers are gay, though, because it's like, hey, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'll tell you, we had a work party about a week and a half ago, and one of our ladies at our work got incredibly drunk and was practically dry humping a guy who works at our work who happens to be a homosexual. And man, under any other circumstances, that guy would have totally taken advantage of her and totally gotten banged her that night. And he was just like, nope, not interested, not even interested.
I'll volunteer.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your doing? It's past his bedtime, and he's sorry I missed the fun. You can still jump in, Yort. Come on now. I mean, if you're on the road, you got no family holding you down. Let your wild oats come out a little bit there, sir. You're not that old yet. You could jump in. You got no goddamn bedtimes when you're traveling. Come on now, dude. Jump on in, motherfucker.
Now the thing with Ewart though is he's a chronic masturbator, so he might be just busy.
But I mean, we gave him plenty of masturbation material earlier on. He should be done by now.
He doesn't want to get his keyboard dirty, dude. That's why you use your left hand.
Yeah. That's why that's why you're like Dexter. You just put plastic over everything before you
Before the murder scene.
Before you murder that dick all over your keyboard.
You want to make sure you don't get the splatter all over it.
Exactly. Serial killers know what they're doing, man.
I'll tell you, here's the thing, is that keyboards aren't that expensive. Just replace your keyboard once a year. So.
I mean,
laptops are if you're on mobile.
And like keyboards these days, the technology, they're easier to clean. You can actually like dump water and cleaning fluids down them and actually not like make them short out. So.
You can dump various fluids on them.
Exactly. It can be a cornucopia of different fluids, bodily.
More people have a laptop. More people have a laptop these days than a desktop.
Yeah, and those keyboards are hard to fucking get shit in under.
Not all of them. I mean, you can replace them.
Yeah.
But
warning: too much semen detected. Please replace me.
The P key is stuck. Because you typed in porn so many times.
It's like Yorts on a ship. There's too much semen on his poop deck.
Oh God!
What the fuck's Radar doing? What are you doing, dude? You're just listening to us. You're not saying
I'm
anything.
just listening to. I'm looking at the redheaded girl athletic naked thing.
Oh well, more power
with
to you.
With a box of tissues.
Radar is furiously masturbating Gee.
And on the subject of redheads, if anyone wants to look up my favorite redheaded porn star, look up Danny Woodward.
Oh yeah,
she's retired now, but she's great.
What?
Danny Woodward, D-A-N-I Woodward.
Woodward.
Danny Woodward, XXX on Twitter.
Yep, she's hot as fuck.
And we all know fuck is pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's somebody you want to splooge in the face.
Mm-hmm.
The first picture on Google is one of my favorite poses when the girl's up and she has her legs up and you just kind of see like the undercooter. I love it. It's the M pose where her legs are kind of in an M shape.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, no, I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
I like her just like slim, natural body.
I mean, I personally prefer a girl who's a little curvier than that, but I certainly wouldn't have an issue.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I do appreciate the fact that she never fucking went for
fake tits.
Any sort of work getting done.
Oh yeah. No, I will. Look, here's the thing: is I will always take a girl who's natural. Like I was chatting with one of our receptionists and we saw this girl walk by who I like to nickname her Duck Woman, because I also understand we live in I work in an expensive part of Toronto where a lot of people can afford plastic surgery. Like there's a plastic surgery clinic right down the street from us, there's one woman I like to call Duck Woman because she has massive duck lips and she has massive tits and then she has a massive ass. And when she kind of walks, she walks at an angle, so her ass is sticking out and her tits are sticking out front and her lips are sticking out even further than her tits are. So she looks like a fucking duck. And I'm legitimately saying, like, there are some old women that work at our work, and I'm like, I think I would rather have sex with them than I'd rather have sex with her because she just looks fucking gross. Like she doesn't even look like she's a woman anymore. She looks like she's some sort of animal, possibly a duck.
Yeah, plastic surgery is fucking gross. I mean,
it kind of
really
is. You know what? I'm all for it in certain circumstances. Like, hey, if a woman has to have a mastectomy or something, fine. You know what? Let's rebuild her breasts. Let's make her look normal. If somebody gets burnt, let's try and make them look normal. Let's try and make them fix them. But you know what? It's because you feel your tits aren't big enough. Let's have bigger ones. Like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And especially like when you see porn stars and stuff who get to like they're getting their late 30s or they're getting like into their early 40s, and then they start having like work done. Like, why the fuck are you doing that? Like, honestly, in my opinion, most women, when they sort of like hit their late 30s, early 40s, they start looking really fucking good. Like, they start looking really fucking fine. And why the fuck would you fuck with that? Why would you ruin that?
Nothing wrong with a fine-aged MILF.
Yeah. So it's
like
just
a fine
depressing.
wine.
I was thinking of getting a facelift, guys. What do you think? Would I look better?
Oh yeah, you'd be great. When you fall asleep on BDU, you would just look like spectacular. It'd be great.
This would be me sleeping.
This is probably like the most misogynist BDU or replacement of a BDU ever.
Oh no, we've probably done worse. We've probably done way worse.
Okay, let me clear the air. I don't want this to be misogynist. I don't want Hougly to lose his channel. I, for the record, think vaginas are better than penises. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Wow, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
As long as you're not throwing your penis out there.
Listen, sometimes I need to throw it out there. And I hope somebody catches it.
Well, if you're trying to be the straight man in this conversation, I think we all are.
We're all very manly men. No, definitely no. Does anyone want to jack each other up? No? Okay, no, we're all straight men, right? Yeah.
No Dutch rudders here.
Nick, you've killed the conversation with your perversion topics.
It's like, holy fuck, was it actually me doing this time?
Someone put more pictures.
He's like, yeah, radar's almost done with Kleenex. Holy fuck.
I wonder, was Chad coming back or no?
No, I think he just kind of disappeared, man.
Disappeared.
That's typical Chad for you. He just fucks off without saying anything.
Really had this shit in the bucket.
He
was having difficulties the whole time. He was like frigging with shit while he was trying to chat. So I don't know what the fuck was going on.
In all fairness, though, he's probably pooping in a bucket right now.
Yeah. Although earlier this morning he was doing his little hangout there, and he was talking about how once he actually shit in a Pringles tube.
Oh.
So yeah, put that image in your mind.
In that case, he deserves what he gets.
Yeah, that's as a prank apparently. Shit in a Pringles tube, and I assume maybe put some Pringles on top of the shit, and then give the tube to somebody.
Shit.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing, right? When me and my fiance were looking for a place, and some people know this, some people don't. Me and my fiance, we sleep in separate beds because we choose to. We each like our own thing. However, when we were looking for our own place, I said I can live with sleeping with you if we have to get a one-bedroom place to get what we can afford. I'm totally fine with that. There is no fucking way I can get a one-bathroom place because when I got a shit, You cannot be in my way because I will end up shitting on your lap, and that'll just be weird. So.
Yeah, no, I fully endorse that opinion. I'm fully for every house should have 2 bathrooms. That's just the way it should be.
Yeah, like you just can't live with 1 bathroom. Like even if I was a single guy living in my own place, I have to have a second bathroom as a backup in case I destroy the first bathroom and I'm waiting on the plumber.
And if you have people over, it's like you're using that bathroom. You're not coming to mine, motherfucker. You're
How
not
many
touching my bathroom.
How many bathrooms do you have right now, Greg?
2.
Really?
Yep.
Geez, what kind of apartment do you live in anyway?
What do you mean?
Apartment. Oh, just saying, you must be a nice apartment if you're living with like 2 fucking bathrooms.
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom corner unit.
There you go. 3 bedrooms.
It's a nice
in
condo,
fucking
Grant.
Mississauga.
It's not Mississauga. It's in Toronto.
Toronto still.
It's actually in Etobicoke, which is part of Toronto, but it's Etobicoke. It's the
Still.
west end of Toronto. So it's not a bad unit. I'll admit it's not bad, but
Yeah, well, what's your
nothing.
rent? $1,500 a month?
My mortgage is about approximately $1,200 a month, and then on top of that, we pay about $800 maintenance fee on it a month. So we're looking about two grand a month all in.
Motherfucker. Still, at least you're paying for that together, you know.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't be in this place myself. Like it's a 2-person income, so we can afford it. But by myself, I wouldn't be in this place. But we also had to put in a hefty down payment on this place too, which is also why I lived with my parents till I was like 28, because it just made things easier to save money.
Jeez.
I think I'm gonna head out for the night. I'm drunk enough as it is.
See you later.
All right.
See you later, Master Baby.
I think I'm going to close this down anyway. I got to take the dog out, and I think we're kind of winding down anyway. So.
You gotta take the dog out. Is that because you're looking at all the redheads?
No, I actually do have to take the dog out. The redheads will be later on.
Yeah, it's an actual dog, Nick. It's not his cock.
Yeah.
All right, then well, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Yeah,
Randy.
guys,
Have a good one, sir.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.